Hello, interwebs. I'm just going to mute the chat for a second, folks. You feel free to chat away. Don't mind me. I will just be here chatting to the interwebs. All right, so I've got the stream going. Hopefully with audio and all that kind of stuff. Double checking. Baz, tech advisor extraordinaire. Do you want to let me know whether we can hear it all?
Yep, just trying to set up stream again.
You rock. It's Hewlett and the Bandits. It sounds a bit like a band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And Eli's telling me they've just got bunnies. Bunny. How many bunnies did you get?
2. I'll be right back.
2 bunnies. It's a full-time job. Hello back to you. Very good. GTA, Baby Yoda sounds good. Neckberg says hello. Turtle Princess. Andrew Galbraith, UK.
Sophie, my sister's hasn't named her yet, but I'm naming mine Alex.
Alex, what type of bunny are they?
They're just bunnies.
Just bunnies. Are they a certain? But don't bunnies come in many different sort of types? Are they very fuzzy bunnies, or are they fluffy, short hair, long haired?
Alex is the fluffiest animal I've ever felt.
Ha! Really? I guess. Well, I was gonna say that's why they make coats out of them, but you know.
Thanks.
Just to fill your
Hey,
mind.
Glenn.
Fill your mind with that kind of horror. Hey, it's Bag of Chips. Bag of Chips and his super glued tarantulas. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
We have got music today. So
Ooh.
get this. It turns out I know the guy who did the music for Overwatch.
Wait, actually?
Yeah. I talked, last night he sent me all this information about the music, making music for video games. He does Overwatch, he did World of Warcraft, and it turns out, he worked on Stargate. That's how I know him.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? So I'm actually going to have, I'm going to do a proper interview with him at some point. But he's given us a whole bunch of stuff to look at, including, a surprising one that I hadn't thought of, which is, has anyone seen The World According to Jeff Goldblum?
No.
Baz, I know Baz has a bit. But it's this great kooky show with this crazy old actor, Jeff Goldblum.
Guys,
he just... Yeah?
not How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic Park.
What's that?
He was in Jurassic Park.
He was in Jurassic Park. You're right. Yes, he was in Jurassic Park. He was in David Cronenberg's The Fly, which you should totally see. You have telekinesis?
Yes.
How's that working for you?
Awesome.
So, telekinesis, is that the one where you can read people's minds or you can move things?
Both.
Both. You can read people's minds and move them. So, are we going to see flying bunnies then sometime soon?
Yes. Extremely large. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, Alex especially, you know those birds that have that big chin that puffs up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He has a 10 times chin. It is so,
like mine?
Puffed out. No, he's a puffed out chin. It's hilarious.
A puffed out chin. What does Alex do with it? Or is it just he's just got lots of extra fur there?
Yeah, it's extra skin. Like Cosmo.
I wonder why they have extra skin there. Do you think it's so they can move their heads easier? I'd love to know why. Someone says that Bag of Chips is a drag name over here. Yeah, because Bag of Chips was amazing on
Bag
RuPaul.
of Chips? Yeah, I told him about that.
Hey, Glenn,
Yeah.
did you name it after...
No, I've had this name for a few years.
Yeah. I think
he was the
created
first
it
Bag
in
of
grade
Chips.
5, right? When we hung out?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you're the original Bag of Chips.
OG Bag of Chips.
You were originally OG Bag of Chips?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good too. But that's so true because Bag of Chips was this classic drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race, which was he was hilarious too, wasn't he? Remember he had his mom out?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh,
I
me
know,
mom."
but he was so mean to his mom.
He got I think he got nervous. And when you're nervous, you can sometimes take it out on your parents,
He was
can't you, Baz?
horrible to his mother.
Like, you're horrible to me? Is that like that kind of horrible?
What did he do?
Could you imagine if I
He was just making fun of her like weight and her looks and stuff.
yeah,
Stop.
he sort of blamed a loss on her to some extent.
Yeah, he lost in a challenge and he blamed it on her, and then
On his
she
mom.
felt horrible.
Yeah. Well, I would have
Really
won it
bad
if it
son.
wasn't for me mum. That was like that. Yeah, he was a funny guy. I thought he was or a funny lady. I'm not sure what I would call him, but they.
I
Dad,
think he messed up there.
he's a dude, but he's not bi. No, not bi. He's not trans.
Oh, I see. So he's just. I'm not just anything. So yeah, I get so confused because I guess different people want to be referred to in
Dad,
different ways.
Doesn't have to be a man dressing up as a woman,
Right.
but in RuPaul's Drag Race it is a
Hmm.
man dressing up as a woman.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. No one quote me on that.
No one quote Baz.
Sorry,
Strike
there's
that from the record.
trans people on it.
There were definitely some
Quote him
trans
on it,
people.
quote him
There
on it,
were.
Quote him on it.
So no one quote me on that. That would be very, very bad.
I gotta say, we love our RuPaul. Like we watch an inordinate amount of RuPaul's Drag Race stuff. Yeah, it's I just can't get over the costumes, the makeup, and just these extraordinarily huge personalities and it's a really fun show. I gotta
There's
say.
a show on TLC where it's like literally like toddlers who have to dress up like princesses, but like with so much makeup.
Oh
And
yeah.
their parents are so mean.
Yeah, there's that weird competition thing. Legend Shammy, sorry, buddy. I just because of the bandits, I'm concentrating on the chat, but I will definitely have a look. And yes, and I will look at your questions. But be well and thank you. Don't quote me
James
on
Gurney
that.
says, "Don't quote me on that."
Baz
Baz
Hewlett,
Hewlett, 2020.
2020. Yeah, he should run for office on that. Don't quote me. You can't be mean to mom. I know you certainly can't be mean to mom on television. That's a terrible thing to do.
Tortinos, hot pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls? What? Are you doing an ad?
No.
An advertising pizza rolls?
Yes.
So yeah, Neil Acree is the sort of the genius behind a lot of the music on SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. He worked with Joel Goldsmith. And now he's doing video games, and like one of our favorite themes of all time, this Overwatch victory theme, is his, and I was just so sort of thrilled to have that connection. And then so he's based in LA. He's recording an orchestra in Australia last night, and at 3 a.m. he's typing out things for like advice and tips and stuff for us. So I thought, like, how freaking cool is that? So I thought what I would do is we could talk about it today, and then maybe we could have some questions or something. And I'm going to do an interview with him and basically just pick his brains all about this because I think it's just kind of fascinating. Because music makes a game, right? What's your like favorite music in a game? Eli, what music do you like on games?
First of all, I want to point out you are a zombie. Second of all, I want to point out my favorite music tracks, like tracks for games, probably be I think the one for Black Ops 4 was phenomenal.
Oh, really? Black Ops
Yeah.
4. GTA Baby Yoda saying Battlefield 4, probably your favorite, their favorite. So I should write this down because then I'll remember this. Okay, so Black Ops, that's the one that jumps out at you. Black Ops 4?
Yeah.
Black Ops 4 is Commander. No, not Commander. What do you call yourself? Yeah, Commander. Commander Cosmo. All right. Okay.
Potato.
So Baz. Well, no. What about? Sorry, where's Bag of Chips? What favorite music in video games?
I'm not completely sure because I don't usually pay attention to the music track in video games.
Interesting. Which is one of the problems that they say is that a lot of streamers will just turn off the sound and then play their own music, right?
Well,
But the one thing
yeah,
is,
but
if anything, I'd say Minecraft because they have the best music.
Oh God, I
Wow.
love. Isn't it? Because it can
do
make
you know
you.
the instrument?
It's
You know the
scary.
instrument that they used?
What was that?
Do you know the instrument that they used?
Wasn't it all computer stuff?
No, there's an instrument.
What instrument?
What was it?
I don't know what it's called, but it was really cool.
There's an instrument that they use to record the Minecraft music.
Well,
I mean, it's. I've got it here somewhere. The name of the guy who does it, or the band that does it. It's like C6418 or something cool like that.
364967.
I'm not sure what it was.
11.
Oh my gosh! Now you're on pizza. You got a whole pizza theme going today.
Re-kid.
He's full pizza. All right, let me see what I've sent out. I'm gonna send my sent emails and I can check our.
Beacon gang.
I will check it out. Now we're missing Lorenza and we're missing Pink Ninja and what was?
Ellen and Lorenzo.
Yeah, but what was Elena's tag though?
Like something
Golden
ninja.
Wolf.
Golden Wolf. Golden Wolf.
No, so there's Golden Wolf and then Pink Ninja, right?
I love how I don't pay attention to names most of the time, but I still know that.
Exactly, because you're in the background, dual screening.
Well, no, I'm just ADHD child.
So, but does ADHD mean that you can? Do you remember stuff?
Yeah, ADHD gives you a lot better memory.
Really? My memory.
Well, there's different
sucks.
types of ADHD, right?
That's true. That is true. I definitely feel like I notice more than many people do because of it. If that makes sense. I see lots of different things that are kind of cool.
I'm a tortilla.
There you go. Things like that. So I thought Minecraft was a really interesting one, Bag of Chips, because that's the one that really stuck out for me. You know, but it's amazing how when you start hearing soundtracks, you go, "Oh yeah!" Like it. They sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they sort of add to the whole kind of, you know, feeling of enjoyment in a game. Baz, you were saying Breath of the Wild, right? Or was it Zelda?
I'm not exactly only Breath of the Wild. I was implying like Majora's Mask.
Ha.
Oh, that's a great game.
And, well, there's
just a lot of really, really good music in video games.
It's funny to hear how it's progressed.
The Zelda music is awesome.
There's a great one too. So the guy who did Minecraft, I guess his band or his handle or whatever he called it is C418. And
yeah,
for Pink Ninja, I found out that he'd done a remix of the Stranger Things theme. So I thought she'd get a kick out of that. So I'll make sure I'll send her that link so she can have a listen because she's a huge Stranger Things fan. Yeah, the C418 does some really cool stuff. Now, I wonder if he makes any money. Do you think he makes any money for that music?
Moolah.
Be interesting, because that game did so well. I wonder if he got like a bonus for selling that many, or whether they just bought it outright, or how it worked. But what's kind of neat is I found a video that has like The Legend of Zelda, but it's all the different soundtracks through the years. So it starts with the doo-dee-doo, you know, like a really like 8-bit kind of sound, and then moves into the, you know, lush orchestral stuff that is in so many things today. Orchestral. But I find that weird too. That so many video games are these very sort of, let's say organic is the wrong word, isn't it? Very sort of analog. They're using like
organic.
instruments. But they're using instruments, right?
I have organic.
Didn't they use someone's cat as like a music in Minecraft?
They did? They recorded the cat?
Imagine being like, yo, yeah, I'm part of the Minecraft music. Actually, no, my cat was.
Yeah.
No,
I played the cat.
cat made this weird ass sound. And then they were like...
And they threw that in there? They made that a part of the game?
They're like, maybe I should use that as music.
It's funny because someone was saying, I was reading a whole bunch of stuff on how to make music because I just thought like, it's one of those things I've always wished I could do. I always wished I could just like write a song. You know what I mean? Like I just thought that'd be so cool just to be able to sit down and go, and you're like, woo, I'm a rock star. And so I was looking up how they do that, and someone was saying that music is really just organized sound. So even the sound effects in a game or a movie, in a way, are the music for the movie.
I have big brain idea.
Go, big brain.
What if we did an ADHD stream where we talked about ADHD?
Yes.
This is AD.
Huh. I was gonna say we do ADHD streams every time because I'm here. But yeah, no, that's such a good idea. We could talk about invisible disabilities. How about that?
Yes.
They call them invisible disabilities because you can't see them. You have to be told that someone has. You know, some people just go like, "Wow, that guy's a total jerk." It's like, actually, yes, he's a total jerk, but he's also got whatever. You know. Yeah, I mean, you know, people have.
He's got ADD.
And what are you gonna do? Walk around with a T-shirt saying like, I'm not good at social cues. I mean, it's hard to sort of broach that kind of stuff. But that's a great idea. Okay, good idea. I like it. I will put that on the list. Maybe make that a Friday thing, because that's more sciencey than game-like. Although we could talk about games and disabilities. That could be cool. There's some cool stuff for that. All right, so what else have I got here? Oh, so the other one I was looking into for our ladies from London was The Sims. Because I was like, there were a lot of people talking about Sims 4, and they wanted to change the music. And I thought, well, maybe, do they not? Like, what do you do if you've got a game and you don't like the music? Like, some of them you can't turn the sound off because you need the sound to play the game, right? Baz, like, I would turn the sound down in Fortnite sometimes, and of course you can't play
And also
it.
that, it's Animal Crossing music that you can't stand,
Oh.
not Zelda.
Is that what it was?
You're not, but
Did you like it? The music? In
Me?
Animal Crossing?
The Animal Crossing music?
Yeah. I didn't
Kind
like
of. It gave it it's like a nice and playful thing, but no, not exactly liked it like that.
Yeah,
It's like I wouldn't go out of my way to play it. I liked some of their music.
I
Like
find-
their like Animal Crossing music is by
Thank you, Oswald and Santos.
KK Bubblegum was really fun.
KK
there's
Bubblegum?
There's
So there were
like
specific pieces that you liked.
yes, specific pieces.
I love Ark. Everyone is saying Ark Survival Evolved. I actually had that. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but that was down as one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. I just feel like I could just listen to that music in the background all the time and just get things done. And also in the game, I love the mechanics of it. Like I don't know about you guys, but I love it when you're playing a game and the music changes to reflect what's happening in the game. But you think about how hard that must be to orchestrate. Literally orchestrate. You know what I mean?
I'm a tortoise.
And now he's a tortoise. So then you got the tortoise and the rabbit. There you go. You have a race with Alex. But so one of the things that Neil was talking about, so they call it dynamic sound. No Man's Sky. Baz, what do you think of the music in No Man's Sky? Because you were playing that too, weren't you? Long pause. Silence. We lost him? Has he had a heart attack? Is he choking on his breakfast? Has he got a Fruit Loop stuck in his throat? And he's unable to speak. Oh my God, should I go up and save him now? Or should I ground him for life? Life.
I mean, if he's choking, his life won't be that long.
That's true. That's right. I wouldn't be slowing things down at all. I mean, or he's being chewed by the dog, maybe. Who knows? Who else has played No Man's Sky? The music is... We like that? I did. I usually shoot boats. I missed something there. Oh, yeah. Well, think about music in any... Could you imagine not having music in the horror games? Like Five Nights at Freddy's? What was it? Was there music in Five Nights at Freddy's?
Nope.
It was kind of just soundtrack sound, wasn't it? Like that really scary kind of like staticky sound.
Not really that either.
Really? Wasn't there like a... I feel like there was a fan sound or something. Who's got the COVID cough?
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, sound is... There's that great scene in About a Boy where he's supposed to go to a party and watch a horror film, but he knows he gets really scared in horror movies, and his dad suggests... He says, well, just put on headphones and play happy music while everyone else is watching the movie. And then it's just not scary. Like, if you watch... I defy you to be scared in any movie if you put a happy poppy soundtrack on or something in the background. Music is, I would say, 80%, no, 95% of a horror movie or a thriller or any of that kind of stuff is the music. Without the music, things just look stupid. They just look dumb. You know what I mean?
And this movie is like based on silence.
Oh, there's a movie based on silence? That's...
Oh, but if you still...
That would be creepy.
That takes away all the scariness. Because A Quiet Place isn't all about silence. It's all about eerie music.
Oh, yeah.
There's music. Was there music in Quiet Place?
No, there isn't music. But it's that they just overblow every single sound.
Ah, I see. So they used a heightened sense of real sound.
Yes.
To scare you.
To
They do
make
that a lot,
it
though.
so that people get scared.
They
Exactly.
do that a lot in games, though, don't they? I mean, that's... what was the other one you were playing? The one you're playing now, the Dead by Daylight?
That's horrifying music.
And that has music, and it has, like, heartbeats and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
the
Resident
heartbeat
Evil,
that
too.
gets... The heartbeat that gets me. It's
was the one?
because, like, you
Bioshock.
don't expect it.
Yeah.
Which is why I really want this perk called the Spine Chiller, where you're still able to hear her heartbeat.
Oh, really? And you have to... But that's the game that nickels and dimes you, doesn't it? Like, it keeps asking for more money to do things?
Yeah. You have... So you can earn each killer, but it takes, like, a year to unlock one.
Really? So that it just speeds it up, but it's crazy slow otherwise.
Yeah.
So Knights of Nick, which I just like saying, the Knights that go Nick, say that the gold standard for adaptive music, so that's the music that changes, I guess, as you play the game, is Left 4 Dead, which I've never played, I don't think. Have we played Left 4 Dead, Baz? Have you played it?
Left 4
I
Dead.
don't think we have.
I think I have, but it was, like, a very long time ago.
Yeah, TV music, TV theme music, all that kind of stuff. I'm not even going to start on that because there's just so many great things out there. And yes, Doctor Who would be like one of my all-time favorites. I know the X-Files too was another one that was great. And of course, Stargate. Yeah. Battlestar was good too. Yeah. So what else we got? I want to get into this stuff that Neil sent. So it's 3 a.m. in the morning. He's had to do this recording from Australia. He says that the episode on gaming, it's Disney Plus. The series is called World According to Jeff Goldblum. Great series, I gotta say. We've had a lot of fun watching it so far. But we haven't got to this one, but apparently there's one on video games, and he suggests that you look at that because it's got some great sort of info on how games are made and scored and stuff like that. So here's what Neil had to say, and we'll get Neil in here at some point, I'm hoping. But I thought today we'd just sort of start the ball rolling. She says, like, one of the big things to consider with music is what's the function of the music. So think about it. What do you need from music in a game? Any ideas? Like, the first thing that I would think of is, how do I write something that's not going to drive someone crazy if they play this game all day? Are there any soundtracks you're like, I can't do it. It drives me crazy. I find a lot of the Switch games, I have a real hard time with some of the music. Where I just go like, it's just too repetitive. You know? What's it? James Green is, as someone who stopped gaming in the mid-2000s and didn't game much until recently, this is the biggest shift in what players think is acceptable. What, the money side of it? The transactions. Ugh. They're not so micro anymore, James. I mean, Baz, what were you saying? Some of the Valorant skins were like $75 or something?
For like a Vandal skin, it's like $20. But like to buy a whole pack, it could be like $100.
Someone was saying that if they bought all of the skins or something, it would be like $10,000 or something.
Yeah, if they bought every single pack of skins
I'll be
and
right
every
back.
shop,
All right, buddy.
it would be about $10,000.
That's insane. Real. Oh, so GTA found Minecraft music drove you crazy. Not me. No, I love that. What's BOTW? What is that? Bass? What is BOTW?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I didn't get into that, I'm afraid. Tetris. Oh, Tetris was kind of fun because it had that Russian anthem sound to it. You know. CS:GO had some good music. Music is unique, but that works against it after a few hours. Interesting. So come on, Bandits. You're writing music for a game.
Grounded?
What was that?
Have you seen the new game Grounded?
No, what's that?
It looks so good.
What is it?
It's the one that I was talking about to you, Dad. It's the one about the
I never listened to you though.
it's the one about like people that are super super small and they have to live in a world of like ants and stuff.
Oh yeah. Is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Something else to play with. Tech Bandits hype, says Jed Tech. I don't know what Lady Venom's saying. Chicago. The music is unique. That works against it.
Say Chicago.
Chicago. Assassin's Creed.
What?
Oh, that music was awesome.
Everyone say
What was that? No one likes. Was it James? You didn't like Assassin's Creed Odyssey title music. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about music, right? I mean, it's like, oh, Deus Ex music. Wow, yeah, that was very cool too. I guess it sort of depends on what you're into. I find the new Sims 4 music a bit Muzak for me. And I find, as I say, a lot of the Nintendo stuff starts to get to me after a while. But my God, this orchestral, very sort of cinematic stuff. What was that, Cosmo?
Orchestral.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean by orchestral? Like lots of different instruments and stuff?
I am not big brain.
You are. You just said you
On
were.
the
You were just big brain a
inside.
little moment ago. No, but I mean, like, instead of just like having someone sit at a computer doing this stuff, it seems so. I guess they've got the money now to bring in these giant orchestras and do, serious stuff. Small People sounds like the Borrowers. I know it does, doesn't it? Animal Crossing was actually all right. I haven't really listened to that one. It kind of drove me crazy, I've got to say. All right, let's go back. I want to see what else.
XQC has large nose.
Does he?
Extremely large nose.
who watches XQC?
Which one's XQC?
He's the one you hate.
Oh, I don't like him.
Absolutely hate.
He's the one who
He's the racist homophobe.
I didn't know he was racist. I know he was homophobic.
Yeah, he was, isn't he?
Either way, isn't one enough?
Okay, well, he's the...
Yeah, I got very angry with Baz for listening to him because I felt that he shouldn't be given money given his incredibly...
I wasn't giving any money to him.
No, but by watching his videos, you give him power,
Views.
if that makes sense, right? You give him views, you give him ad revenue, you give him credibility in the world, so...
I guess, okay, yeah,
I'm
sorry.
not-
I just thought he was kind of funny.
But that's, I think, again, it's very hard sometimes to consider what are the ramifications of the stuff that people have said. Like, I just don't want to support anybody who is preaching any kind of hatred or exhibiting any kind of hatred. This guy went after a gamer because he was gay, and I was like, I'm out. Like, I don't want.
The gamer because he was gay. He went after the gamer because he said something that annoyed him,
Yeah.
and then he responded to that gamer by saying something homophobic.
Like a gay slur.
Yeah.
It was a homophobic slur. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I don't like the guy, and I don't like seeing him in our house. So that's just because I feel like there's so many great streamers out there and great gamers. We have our choice. Why are we stuck with people who don't accept or like other people? You know what I mean?
Do you know who Alita is?
Mm-mm.
No.
She's basically a cat abuser.
What?
I know, but that's not as bad as a homophobe. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't. Well, I mean, I'm
Well,
not.
maybe it is. Maybe.
I guess it depends. Well, one of the problems with people who abuse animals is it's often an indicator of of other problems later on. They could go on and start hurting people, right? I mean, that's the concern with a lot of these things. There's a crazy show on Netflix, which I started watching, but I'm not sure. It's so disturbing. Called "Don't F with Cats," and it's like rule zero on the internet is you don't mess with cats. And someone, I guess, decided to use that as a it's pretty horrible. But yeah, it's
It's
animal
about
cruelty.
a serial killer. It's not about.
Do you want me to go bring up one of the bunnies and show you?
We might be able to see them. Well, actually, you could show us on the chat, but I'm not sure. I'd have to check with parents and stuff before we actually put you online. So, but yeah, we could show us for sure, and we'll tell everyone how cute they are. All right, I want to go back to this gaming stuff for a second because we've got, and I'll put this. I will post all of these notes on thetechbandits.com after, so people can read this because there's some really cool stuff here. And as I say, it's like inside info that I just would never have been able to get if it wasn't for Neil's involvement in Stargate. So the music game music usually involves either triggered, looped, or interactive music. So we got triggered, which is a single piece of music that's triggered when you enter a specific area in the game or a specific event happen. That makes sense, right? So that's I guess the stuff that I love. I love it when you go into an area and you go, oh, here we go. I'm about to get into a battle or something. Like with I love the way it works in Ark. Right, Baz?
Yeah.
Remember in Ark where you get, if you like by accident hit a dinosaur or something, it goes into like attack
Did you
sounds.
touch my croissant?
Very cute. Have you got your bunny? We got bunnies to look at. Not yet.
I don't know.
No rush.
Because my sister's working with them right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Probably not a good idea. Working with them? What, she teaching them how to read or something? What are you working with them? All right, what do we got? Triggered. So that's the triggered. They can also involve a playlist of music that plays at random intervals while you're exploring a certain area. Oh, I see. So like from a programming standpoint, you go into an area and then it randomly chooses from a playlist different types of music to sort of keep things interesting. So that's common in MMOs, massively multiplayer online, I believe, games like World of Warcraft, which Neil also writes for World of Warcraft, or open world games that need to cover a wide variety of gameplay. So music's more about the mood or enhancing the scenery than tracking specific actions. Okay, interesting. Interactive or adaptive music uses the game engine. Oh, I like the sound of this. Uses the game engine to score the scene in real time by adapting certain variables like proximity to danger. How much or how little health you have or your enemy might have. How many bad guys you're fighting. And this is most common in FPS, first-person shooter. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
First-person shooters that emulate a cinematic experience. I see. So first-person shooter, you're running along, and it'll figure out, oh, your health is low, so tensions are high, and it'll change it depending on that. That's kind of cool, though. That's basically like an AI, isn't it? Like figuring out how to score the thing based on the gameplay. That's very cool. Did Breath of the Wild do that? I don't remember. Did Breath of the Wild do the? Did it change depending on who you were fighting, Baz?
In Breath of the Wild, the music? No. Well, kind of.
Well, no, but yes. Kind of.
It changed when you were in boss rooms.
Oh, I see. So you got a specific. So that would be triggered music, as they say here. And then interactive music. So at its most simple, interactive music is made up of layers that are faded in by the game engine based on proximity to the event that needs to be emphasized. Wow, he really went all out on this. This is great. So it's made up of layers. Oh, I see. So they could sort of fade in different parts of the song depending. Base layer is often quite simple. Ambient, pad. I guess that's what they mean. I guess that's a term. Repeating pattern that can play while you just sit there for an hour without annoying you, which is good. I like that he pointed that out. It's a good sign. And as you get closer to a danger, slightly more complex version fades in on top. And this has to work both musically and dramatically. And then you can have quite a few layers depending on the game engine and the music. It has to be composed with a big picture and individual layers in mind. Wow. So that's so funny because I think traditionally game music was sort of like one of those things like, oh yeah, no, we got some music for it. Whereas it's become this incredibly, like it's such an integral part of the game with these different things. Like when you're getting triggered, looped, and interactive music in there, it's gonna be like a, oh, he actually says it here, like to choose your own adventure book. So on a more complex level, adaptive music can work like a choose your own adventure. You guys never did choose your own adventure books, did you?
I did.
Oh, I had some.
Did you? Which ones
Yeah.
did you do? Which ones did you use?
Well, I had like an Adventure Time one that I used a lot when I was younger.
Like Adventure Time, the comic book?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And you basically it was the same thing. You just choose where you were, which way the story was going to go.
Yeah.
I should get our squirrel cam up here. I can't. What's going on with my squirrel cam? I thought I should. There's no point in being squirrely without a squirrel cam. All right, what do I do here? If I do this,
I live in a pineapple.
You live in a pineapple under the sea?
Yes.
Interesting.
SpongeBob Air Pants.
So here we go. So we'll do squirrel cam again. Nope, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Interesting. That's bizarre. So my squirrel cam is like the most unreliable of all of my cameras, it seems. Let me see if I can just adjust that. Maybe that will help. Oh, I know. Sometimes what happens is sometimes it doesn't like it when it's plugged and unplugged. Oh, sometimes it likes that. All right, let's have a look. Let's see if I can get this going. Go.
Hello.
Unplugging that. Unplugging. Hello. Who have we got?
Meow.
Hey, Cal.
Hello.
Hey.
Cal's got to have a few thoughts on music.
Ooh,
Favorite music in games, Cal?
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, really?
Morrowind, Skyrim, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I have to give that a listen. There's so many soundtracks I just don't know. And yet there's tons of stuff available online. When you look for playlists, I thought, oh, I'll find a playlist of games. And I was like overwhelmed by how many there were. All right, so without a doubt, that's the one that leaps out at you.
It's the first thing that came to mind, yeah.
Interesting. And what is it you look for in a soundtrack, in a game soundtrack? Do you like it when it responds to the game? Do you like it when it just plays in the background? What's your take on it?
Definitely, if you're like playing some sort of scene in a game and it helps with your emotions according to the scene, that's good music.
That's like what is it called? The Last of Us.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did they have good music in Last of Us?
I was thinking more in the lines of Red Dead. You know, when you have like this big bandit shootout, you get some really cool Western style music that pumps you up for the action.
I like
Something
that. That's the same with Ark as well. I love that.
Yes.
When the dinosaurs come in, you're like, dung, dung. It's just like, yeah. It sounds like dinosaur music.
Ark has some really good music.
What Ark? Yeah, Ark has that really like rich, like there's just so much going on in the music too. So
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing. I love that. I gotta say, I really love the Overwatch music as well. I think Neil's done a great job with that, and Neil did all of the shorts as well. He orchestrated all those as well, which is kind of cool.
Did you do StarCraft by any chance?
Did he do StarCraft? I don't know. I have to check his resume. He's got. Did I put a link? Did I not put a link to his resume? Oh, I did in my tweet. I didn't in this though. Okay. So let me just have a look here. I'm gonna look him up right.
StarCraft has some of the best music. I often have that going in the background. Some StarCraft music. Oh.
He did World of Warcraft. I know that.
Ah.
Here we go. Neil Acre. Here we go. Let's see what he's got here.
I didn't even mean to kill someone, but I did.
That's nice. He did StarCraft.
Oh, love the man.
Oh my God.
Already
That's
in love.
what a great, and Diablo. I didn't know that.
Oh, Nice.
Wow.
Diablo?
Oh, and this
Oh, I love
Stargate
Diablo.
Stargate Atlantis. A very handsome man on the front there. I can't quite. Oh yeah.
Atlantis? What's that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is very
Is
handsome.
that a
cast.
game? I don't know.
Well, that's so funny that you would say StarCraft, and that's actually what he's doing. That's great.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to do an interview with him. So I'm actually
Mm.
gonna sit him down. I'm gonna geek out with him about what it's like to be a composer, and now a composer for games. Though I'm not sure that's what he chose. But honestly, I mean, movies, unless you're doing massive budget movies, you don't seem to have a big budget for music. Whereas the games, it's such a big part of it. I imagine there's probably more work in that as well. So, all right, what else does he say here? So, more complex adaptive music can work like a choose-your-own-adventure. The music's composed of short, loopable sections. What was that, Eli?
Choose your own adventure. Blah, 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 blah.
Great. If you get that's my chorus. I've got the Bandits chorus. I said there would be music, didn't I? So it's composed in short, loopable sections, cover a wide variety of scenarios, and then there's someone on the game team that implements these cells into the audio engine. Wow, there's actually an audio engine. This horizontal cells that change with your actions can also have vertical layers like the previous example. Wow, this is complex. Holy moly. There's some scores out there that are incredibly complex in regards to how they adapt to the player's choices. Wow, I can't even imagine trying to do that. Can you imagine how complicated it must be to come up with lots of little pieces of music that can fit together or work alone, or can be recombined to create different? I mean, do you think computers will be doing this for us soon? I don't want to tell Neil that he might be replaced by a robot, but in a way, that's going to be the next stage, isn't it? Is the computer figuring out what to play?
How would a computer know what emotions are being portrayed on the screen?
I guess you'd still have to teach it that, right?
Fireballs are for bum bums.
I mean, they've got things like eye tracking and stuff now. I imagine I imagine they're going to start rigging humans up to all sorts of EEGs and ECGs and all that kind of stuff to try to get responses, or skin. What is it? Whatever it's called, the skin something response. And you could get all this information for people playing games.
Skin response.
What's it called? It's called something skin response. They use it in lie detector tests, and it's basically the conductivity of your skin. When you get nervous, apparently, some people, unless you're a psycho, get nervous, their skin, they sweat just a little bit, and that will make the electricity flow through it easier. You become less resistive to electricity. But you could have a computer track a number of people playing a game, and then create and figure out what music works and what doesn't, and eventually they'd get it right? Cal doesn't trust the computers.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Or humans, for that matter. Cal stands alone.
I don't know. I like my choir music and my orchestral music. I don't think a computer can do that.
I always say, whenever anyone says a computer can't do that, I always add, yet. Because I always feel like if it's trying now, it'll get it eventually. I'm trying to think if there's any examples of... There's nothing I can think of. Can anyone think of anything that's happened that we would never have believed could be replaced by a machine that is now? I'm trying to think, is there anything...
Theater.
That's it, galvanic skin response, yeah. I mean, I suppose to some extent there's visual effects, right? We've replaced certain people in things and you wouldn't even notice. And some that you'd really notice. Oh, wow. Oswald and Santos has a whole list of amazing video game musics. Spy mice. Yeah, exactly. We need spy mice. Hey, it's Barnacules! Barnacules answered the galvanic skin response. Welcome! Barnacules made Baz's life the other day by raiding his solo game stream.
Hello.
What? You're breaking up, buddy.
I said hello.
Hello. So everyone should go and follow Barnacules as well. As soon as you're done here, go follow Barnacules. Hey, when are we getting your Bratlet in here? I got my Bratlet in here. We should get yours in here as well. So yes, let's go back to. I want to go back to what Niels had to say here. So. He's also suggested a video, which I will put in the link here. And this is this thing that a friend of his did, Austin Wintry, did this little video that broke down like a behind the scenes on an interactive score, like how he did it, like how he mapped it out and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Map.
How he mapped it out, you know what I'm saying?
Dora's map.
Yeah. I'm a map. Oh my god, remember that? Talk about music that sticks in your head. You know what was great though? Eli, have you seen the Dora the Explorer movie?
Oh yeah, that's actually a good movie.
I loved it. Baz, you liked it too, right? It was a good movie. Because it made fun of it and also was sort of true to it in a good way. I'd love to get my kiddo on here. I just have to operate the mute button or he would steal the whole stream. He's like his daddy. Just talks nonstop. Nice. We got a few of us here at Barnacules who do that. Have to sit there with a mute. But that's the beauty, Barnacules, is we've got a mute button. The number of teachers who said to me like, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I had a mute button." Coffee. Coffee from my giant Christmas mug. Okay. What else have we got? A game like Overwatch. Ooh, here we go. Inside scoop. A game like Overwatch uses music more as auditory cues to alert the players that the match is about to begin or end. Yes. So the sound is designed so you can almost play with your eyes closed and know what's going on, and the music's a part of that.
That's crazy. That's insane.
You think that's crazy, Eli?
Whoa.
I went even further and thought, wait a second. If music is what's telling you what's going on to such an extent, could you play these games if you were blind? What do you think?
Don't think so, no.
No? So you don't think there could be enough? I wonder if there must be games that are designed specifically for people who can't hear, right? I know that Last of Us had a whole bunch of stuff for people with hearing disorders or hearing disability. I'm not sure how you refer to it. But Cal, you were the one who pointed that out to us.
Mm-hmm.
But they had stuff specifically for people with hearing disabilities, right?
Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yes, and blind people as well. Blind people can play it.
So how does that work though? Like, I just don't know how you do that. Is it not you don't have to shoot anything, you don't have to hit anything? Like, how do you do that? So we have our own soundtrack. Eli's already writing his own music. But like,
I ain't too sure. I know it auto aims for you when there's enemies and stuff, and you get cues. You don't have to do the puzzles. It auto skips the puzzles for you because you need to see for them.
Okay.
Well,
I'd love to see a game that doesn't just skip the parts they can't do. It would be kind of cool to be able to. I guess the horror games could work. Like running. Like, what about? So, do you think there's a way you could play Dead by Daylight without being able to see?
No. Well, no.
If you got really good surround sound, though, that would work, right?
No. You wouldn't know where the pallets are to stop the killer.
Oh, right. You have to throw pallets down, too, don't you?
Yeah.
Baboon sounds.
Maybe they could come up with... You could have sounds for it or special little cues for it or something like that. I'm going to look into that because I think it's kind of interesting sort of thought. There was
How old do you have to be to drop kick a baby?
Oh
What?
my god. What?
Eli, what? Where did that come from, Eli?
I don't know.
Interesting.
It's a meme, but what meme?
Oh, memes. Well, I love the way it's like memes become an excuse for anything. It's like, what? It's a meme. Yeah, but it's, it's creepy. Although I gotta say, we used to have lots of horrible dead baby jokes when I was a kid. But then you have a baby and all of a sudden they They're not so funny anymore. Anyways, what else we got? So Overwatch. So that idea of the auditory cues was just got me thinking about maybe there's something you could be doing with people with disabilities. And then then there's Austin Wintry, who talks about how he's basically visualized how an interactive score is made and works and all that kind of stuff. So that's worth looking at as well. Technical considerations that need to first be worked out before a note is even composed. Oh, I'm out. In other words, you got to do your homework.
What?
How do you capture the mood of the game? What melodic, harmonic, rhythmic devices will help enhance the player's emotional connection to the game? What instrumentation will help establish a sonic aesthetic and identity? This guy was up at 3 a.m. writing this. I can't write this well at 3 in the afternoon after a good meal. There are all things asked for film and television as well, yes. But it sounds to me in a way that writing music for video games is actually more complicated. It reminds me of writing like the actual stories, like the actual scripts for video games, where I can only imagine how much work is involved in that. Like, because at least with a feature film, you've got a very definite sort of a 2-hour window you have to fill, whereas in a game, you just basically write as much as you can in the time you've got, because the possibilities are basically endless, right? I mean, Red Dead Redemption, Cal, you've got, I'm assuming, a limited number of stories you can play, right?
What do you mean?
Well, in the actual game for Red Dead Redemption, there's kind of an arc to the story. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, it's linear. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But then when you get into the online one, then you can also take on the roles of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Although not members of the KKK anymore.
KKK
It's fine. They're portrayed as idiots in the game. It's fine.
Right, so they're portrayed as the idiots they are. Very good. Okay.
But I was going to mention Amnesia. Amnesia is a horror game designed entirely to scare you with sound.
Ooh.
There are some monsters in the game, but it's primarily the sound that scares you the most.
Well, when Bass was a kid, the music or the tension building music in films is what scared him more than whatever happened in the movie. Because he knew that he'd seen us make movies. He'd seen how they do gunshots and blood and guts and all that kind of stuff. But the music, that's what really got him. I think it still does to some extent, right, Baz?
Yeah.
Music tends to freak you out.
Moo Mix.
That too. Yeah, the Moo Mix, terrifying. Eli is very, very vocal today. Lots of insights. What else we got? Game music has added the challenge to be impactful without being annoying. I know that's the hard one. It's like, I don't know how you come up with an earworm that's not gonna drive you nuts while you're playing the game. And I thought Ark, Overwatch, they've all done a good job of that. I like Overwatch. Overwatch reminds me of like the title sequence for a series, because it's just before you go into battle, you get the triumphant sounding music that sort of jazzes you all up. You go out, play the game, and then the music sort of comes back again to indicate that you're running out of time, which I think is a great mechanic for it. Career-wise, there are other avenues into game music. Ooh, this is how to get into it. Here we go. Technical aspects. Sometimes the composer does that as well. So, on the actual music side of stuff, a lot of the game music is done by one person using synthesizers and home studios. Aha! I love it! Anything that involves never leaving the house, I am all over it. So, Neil's done tons of that. And there are a lot of huge orchestral game scores that involve a composer and orchestrators to translate the music into notation, and copyists and music librarians to print the actual sheet music. Oh my God. Put it on the stands, musicians themselves, recording engineers, Pro Tools operators, and more. Holy man. But that's interesting, because I don't know that I have a hearing impairment. Like I have hearing loss. So I've never been very good at picking out the nuances of music. It was one of those things. I remember actually Joe on Stargate. I had a bunch. I'd ripped a bunch of my CDs, and he said, "Oh, can I get them?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." And he was playing them in his car, and he's like, "Dude, it is terrible. Like it sounds like an AM radio." I'm like, "What? No, it sounds great." And I put it in my stereo in my car, and it's like, sounds great. He goes, "You can't hear that?" I'm like, "No, it's the music. I'm singing along, I'm bouncing, I'm happy." But no, it's just because I guess I don't pick up the subtlety of it because I just don't have my ears just can't do that yet. Right? Until I have a cyborg AI hearing aid system. I keep forgetting to wear my hearing aids. Are you laughing at my hearing loss?
No.
All right.
I'm just
checking.
laughing for the sake of laughing.
Very good. Yeah, you're in a very good mood today, Eli. You're a very happy mood. Is it because of the bunnies?
Well, that and I have Minecraft camp all week, and
Whoa, go back. Minecraft camp?
Minecraft camp?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I have a live building camp, which means we build stuff.
What?
And things like that, and then I have survival, and then I have redstone engineers.
What?
Can I have your life?
Dad?
That's awesome.
Dad, we went to that camp.
You went to that camp. I never went to that camp.
From out school.
It's which one?
Oh no, we went to a different one. We went to this one where
The Digital
it was
Media Academy.
really helpful.
So have you started that yet?
We just do stuff. Yeah, I have.
And so what do you learn?
I don't learn anything. I know everything there is to know about Minecraft.
So why do you go?
Because I get to build fun stuff.
Ah, I see.
Duh.
You know everything there is to know about Minecraft.
Yeah, most everything.
Everything. How do you know all this?
Because I am big brain.
Well, 5 minutes ago you said you weren't big brain.
But I am big brain now.
All right, good. Well, there you go. So when it comes to Minecraft, you are big brain. Very good. So are these different courses you're taking, or are they all one class that covers all that?
Different courses.
So you're taking 3 separate camps.
Well,
How long do you get to play for?
Only on Monday.
And how long do they go for?
They're all 1 hour and 30 minutes.
So you get an hour and a half guaranteed Minecraft time every day, every Monday.
Well, no, more than that.
And then
3 times an hour and a half.
Can you talk to your parents? Oh, I see. So you're doing them all at the same time. So you do Monday, and then so are you doing 3 different classes every week, or just once a week?
Yeah.
One of those.
No.
One of those. I don't know. I go where I'm told. And who is doing these camps? I'm interested to know who these camps are. Do you like them?
Cool. Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah. And do the instructors, are they talking to you all the time, or they just sort of give you something to do and let you run with it?
Well, no, yeah, they're really, really, really nice.
Yeah. And are they like Minecraft pros?
They're pros at what they teach. Yeah.
That's cool. God, could you imagine teaching Minecraft? That'd be so much fun. There you go. So Eli, if you know everything, you could be teaching it next year.
True.
Your job would be to play in Minecraft. How awesome would that be?
I could teach speedruns.
Oh, you speedruns?
Yeah, I'm a speedrunner.
You do speedruns in Minecraft?
28 minutes. Yeah, my record's 28 minutes.
28 minutes to do what, though?
Beat the game. Kill the Ender Dragon.
Oh.
There is no way.
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge.
Minutes.
How much?
Yeah. I find that hard to believe. That took years to get at least 40 minutes.
A perfect seed. No, he got 20 minutes. He got 21 minutes.
I know, but when it started off, it took. How'd you do it?
Let me guess. Was YouTube involved in this?
No, I had a really lucky spawn. I spawned right next to what is it called? Sahara Village.
Yeah.
And then there was a lava pool right next to it with gravel, and then from there I got to the Nether, and then it took me about 5 minutes to find another fortress, which was really lucky. And then I had to trade with the piglins for about I don't know, another 5-10 minutes, and then I had enough ender pearls.
And so it was just
The dungeon was really close, actually.
So it was just fluky? Like you just happened to get the right things?
Well, yeah, speedruns are all luck.
Ha.
Or and a bit of skill.
Barnacules says also cheat codes.
Okay.
Right. So, as there's a friend of mine who would say, I hear you, but I'm skeptical. That's usually what they say. That's instead of going like, what? You go, I hear you, but I'm skeptical. You need to convince me more. So you got to record these things. Isn't that what they do?
I don't know what to how do I record?
Well, on your PC, you've got the PC beast.
I don't have OBS or anything.
Baby, that baby was born to record. OBS is a free download. Open broadcasting software. OBS, grab that. Watch a couple of tutorials. You'll have it up and running in no time. You can see I never have any problems running mine. Sort of. I never get my audio right, but I'm on a freaking Mac right now. As soon as I get my PC thing built, then I can get serious about it.
Your PC thing.
My PC thing. Right now, I've got my old Franken PC built by Lord Chunky.
Lord Chunky.
Yep, Lord Chunky, one of my tech bandits from
Monkey.
One of the earliest of the tech bandits. Lord Chunky, back in the dark ages of tech bandits. Before they were even tech bandits. What did we call them? We just called it like the PC Club, didn't we, Baz?
Yeah.
I think that was it. Yeah. What are you guys dual screening today, Baz? Is it you and Bag of Chips playing?
No, I'm actually
Minecraft. What are you playing, Bag of Chips?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, not sorry. Not
Yeah.
a bag of chips. It's right now. Sorry, Cosmo.
Yeah.
If you did it in 28 minutes, then you're second place in world record.
I am.
Seriously, you gotta record this, dude. Could you get like prizes for that?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
All right, so then you gotta do that speed run and record it, so that you have proof.
Wait, I take that back. You would be
Nope, taking it back.
8th in the world.
Well, not bad, Eli.
Well, I do practice a lot.
Well, plus he's also going to like super camp, so that's gonna help him. Although you're not doing speed runs.
I know, but
there you go.
I'm sorry. I just find it very hard to believe that you're 8th in the world after like speedrunning not even for a year.
Well, you don't know.
No, I've been speedrunning since like 1 point.
Since he was 1 year old. Well, this is the thing is you've got to have it's a fishtail until you got the proof, right? That's
okay.
The thing.
I'd like you to prove it. Then you could come back and I'd believe you.
What are you banned? You are banned until you can prove it. We don't want to see you around here until it's been proven. Again, I can hear Baz aching to say, I hear you, but I'm skeptical. All right, so Commander Cosmo's going to work on his speed runs. What else have we got from Neil here? No, I was talking to Bag of Chips. Bag of Chips.
Yeah.
What are you playing right now?
I just started up Minecraft again, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do.
What were you doing before though? Like in a day, you get up in the morning, you go, I want to play. Is it Valorant? Is it Fortnite? Hey, hey, Cosmo, let's keep the yelling down, because while I can't hear, I can hear that. Scream on your own time. So, Bag of Chips, what are your favorite games now?
It's Overwatch, Battlefield 1, because that's the only Battlefield game I have. And Warfare and Minecraft.
Where are you playing Battlefield 1? On
my Xbox.
On the Xbox,
yeah.
Right. Have you picked up the Game Pass?
No, I don't think so.
That deal is kind of crazy great right now. Like, it's $1 for the first month, and you have access to all of their, not all their games, but a good chunk of their games. Right, Baz? Including Red Dead Redemption, Minecraft Dungeons.
Stupid fly.
Wait, I could technically get the Game Pass for 1 month, download all the games, then like not pay for it anymore.
Well, but you can't. You have to be logged in to use them. So you could speed run a bunch of them maybe to start. But I would definitely. I mean, given what you would spend on games anyways, it's a pretty great deal. Pretty great deal right now. And in Canada, it's $1 Canadian, not $1 American. So
that's
like
good.
50 cents. I don't know. I'm recommending it just because I feel like, if that's if there's any chance you're going to buy a couple of games for the Xbox this year, it almost makes more sense to just do the Game Pass thing. Wouldn't you say, Baz?
For Astroneer?
Ooh, Astroneer sounds like fun.
Wait, what's the world record?
Could you repeat that for me?
What was that, buddy?
Could you repeat that for me?
I was saying, don't remember. Oh, the Xbox. Yes, the Xbox. The Xbox Battle Pass thing, or whatever it's called. It's just like a good deal, right? James Gurney, $1 Canadian. That's like free. That's like giving you money. Thank you, James. Thank you for devaluing our dollar, James. Very good. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is on there. That's true.
I already have Red Dead Redemption though.
Oh, do you? And you're not a big fan?
The world record for Astroneer was 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 39 seconds.
And what do you have to do in Astroneer? What's the objective there?
Go to all of the planets, and
Ooh, Cal's converted Ruby K to Red Dead Redemption. Look at that.
Who's Ruby K?
Ruby K's in our chat, in the stream chat. One of our dear and engaged chat members. When Canadians pay taxes, it doesn't impact their bottom line. All we do is pay taxes, Barnacules. Although, to be fair, I moved to California where basically the tax is about the same. We definitely feel the burden of our taxes here. And try being an American and a Canadian and a UK passport holder. We get nailed by everybody. Poor Jane's doing taxes, every day of the year. No Man's Sky is very exciting. Can be played between PC and console players. I believe No Man's Sky is also part of the Game Pass. Baz really likes that one, Cosmo.
I want to do an Astroneer series with you guys.
There you go. Get it started.
I have Astroneer.
Barnacules. Say hi to Mrs. Barnacules. Hey, wasn't it Mrs. Barnacles' birthday the other day?
Barnacles.
I think it was. Happy birthday, Mrs. Barnacules.
That's even worse.
That you don't think you think that singing's worse? Happy birthday, Mrs. Barnacules. Happy birthday, dear Mrs. Barnacules.
It makes me want to throw up.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Mrs. Barnacules must be a saint because Barnacules is like a bigger geek than me even. Like just seems to be constantly in this world of geeky greatness. I mean, I thought Jane was a saint. I guess you have to be married to saints. I guess that's the way it works. These live streams are the freaking best. She is a saint. Barnacules, I think if you're anything like me, yeah, they basically have to be. Oh, and she's a geek too. Oh, that's true. She could be a geek too. Jane's got a geek quality to her for sure. But we geek out about similar things and different things. Opposites attract. Yeah, it could be. Shutterfoot. Thank you very much. Okay. So let me just go back to this. Let me bore everyone some more with this game music stuff. Let me just see what this. Oh, Mist. Remember Mist, Cal?
Oh, wow. Back in time. Yeah.
That was some great music too. That was a. I think they re-released it recently.
Mm-hmm.
God, I loved that game. That was a game that I felt like. I remember saying to my sister, because my sister was really into it as well, Moira, and she was a sort of graphic designer, so she loved all the graphic design stuff. She's an artist. She's, you know, and I remember saying, like, it's so immersive. I couldn't get over how you could lose yourself. I would love to see it again now and just and
Cosmo, please stop.
Cosmo, dude, you're going in for a timeout, buddy.
No,
timeout, please, no.
Not the timeout corner.
That's it.
Dude,
I'm rolling up the
you for a bit,
newspaper
okay?
right now, Commander Cosmo. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, if you mute yourself, it's better because then you can jump back in when you want to, but you don't have to worry about us doing a server mute. There being a revolt. My God, the bandits are revolting, I'll say. All right, what do we got? Ever since Myst allowed for CD audio, so that was the first game to do that. Game music was no longer limited to pre-programmed beep boops. Played at mini 8-bit sound generator. I love the 8-bit sound generator. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of nerdcore. Does everyone know what nerdcore is? Have you heard of this? It's basically like 16-bit old style music, but done almost like they've created dance music out of it. Like it's just love that stuff. Just it warms the cockles of my 80s heart. Once that happens, it means anything you can record audio could be used as a soundtrack. Yeah, it took a while for someone to decide to put the money behind hiring an orchestra for a game, but once it did, it's become the norm. That's great. So well done. Is Myst, the company that made Myst, is that still around? If anyone knows if they're still around. Myst almost didn't fit on a CD. Yeah, I think it came. I remember it coming on like a couple of CDs at one point. I think my 486, 4 megabytes of RAM wouldn't play Myst. It used to churn. I remember that. Look up .mod and S3M sometime. Okay, I shall. Modding or tracking music is amazing. Yeah, so cool. A new Myst-like game called Abduction. Playable in VR. I can't do VR though. I just get motion sickness. Look, I've got my Vertigo bracelets on right now. These are like Harklight sent me these supposedly these are acupuncture points. I'm not sure that I believe in acupuncture, but apparently these acupuncture points will stop me from getting motion sickness because I've just for some reason recently I've been getting this kind of vertigo thing. I'm assuming it's something deadly, but you know. See the critic got modified plenty of old Game Boys as synthesizers. Yeah, I love seeing people do that. What's the one that I saw someone using? It was there's the Game Boy used a bunch of stuff. Using the old Commodore 64s or the Amigas, any of those to do that. The Forest, pretty cool, and cool audio. Okay, I have to check that out. So Commander Lake says VR motion sickness is a thing of the past. Try a newer headset. Oh, well, I guess we'll just go buy a new headset then. Barnacules, have you done VR? You must have played with some VR stuff, right? Because I get motion sickness. I get sick in the car. I get sick thinking about going in the car. I couldn't watch the Blair Witch Project. You know, I've asked for my money back from a movie because I said they were shaking the camera too much. Really? Those bracelets actually worked. It's hard to say. I've been playing VR from day one. Well, I tried, Barnacules. I tried. I put it on. I set it up. I got the freaking Vive, or the Vive, as I was calling it, because of the French. And it just makes me sick. Oh, God, I couldn't. Even just the thought of putting the helmet on now, I just go like, ugh. So you've been playing it from day one, so it doesn't bother you then. HTC Vive Pro, whatever you guys would say. You say Vive, I say Vive. And play only games with one-to-one movement like Beat Saber. I want to play Beat Saber. Beat Saber would be like exercise too, which I really like. All right, Barnacules has spoken. But how much are those Vive things now? They're not cheap, right? Ah, yes, the classic. I feel slightly sick or out of focus. Must be a brain tumor. Yeah, it's the Woody Allen approach to healthcare. I have not tried Beat Saber yet. Is Beat Saber available for the old school Vive? I should try that. Beat Saber is such a good workout, even 1 hour. Okay, that's good to know. Some VR experiences do make me a bit wheezy. Yeah, wheezy. A little queasy wheezy. It ain't easy being queasy wheezy. Um, yeah, that's my problems. Oh God, there's nothing worse. I remember it's like trips to England as a kid. You'd get off the plane and get in the car and this stop and go traffic to get to Granny and Granddad's, and I was heaving my guts out before. Blah. Ooh, Bear Saver, even better. We'll give you motion sickness. And yes, it works great with the original. Oh, okay, great. I'll try that. All right, I'll try that then. I don't know, Barnacules. I kind of like Bear Saver. The idea of having two giant bears that you have to hit things with that'd be great. If I squint while moving, I don't get motion sickness in VR, though it means a lot of squinting. Yeah, so you're basically reducing the amount of information coming into your brain. I'm convinced it's just because I'm so brilliant that my brain can't handle all that information. That's what I'm assuming. With VR, the games that make you sick are the ones where you stand still but move in the game. Yes, because what, your brain thinks you've been poisoned or something. It's interesting. I'll tell you, and the music and sound in VR is a fascinating study too, because that is going to have a huge impact on how you play the game. Here we go. The best and sometimes worst thing about game music to me is that it feels like the early days of Hollywood sometimes. People are still figuring out, but it's getting to a really interesting place where people are doing a lot of experimentation with the technology, sets them apart from film. Yeah, so while they were originally just scoring them like films, they've now come up with there's an art to doing video games now. And as games have become more profitable than films in some cases, I think he's right. Someone said, with great glee to me, that the game industry makes more money than the music and film and television industry put together now, which I'm not surprised by that. Oh, it was Cal in her gleeful dissing of my industry. Yes, I think that's. I wouldn't be surprised, especially now.
Red Dead 2 made 1.2 billion, so.
What?
That's not even online. Yeah, not even online included.
Sorry, which one? Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, the second one made 1.2 billion.
What am I doing? What am I doing talking to kids for? I should be making games. Why aren't we making games? Baz, make your Bad Axe game. I could be living in a giant mansion in, Bali or something. Paid for by my son, which is even better. GTA V has made billions of dollars. Movies and music has touched those numbers. Yeah. Why not both? GTA V. So that's
GTA 5. Yeah, the online.
Is that
last
what it is?
year online. Yeah, last year online pulled in 600 million in just 1 year. The online. It's every year. It's around 500-600 million.
And Flappy Bird at its peak was bringing in 4 million a day. Oh, Barnacules, what are we doing with our lives? That's insane. I mean, I remember thinking like, wow, I wonder what Notch is doing with his $4 billion that he got from Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like, it also cost 700 million to make? No, did it really? Geek Lord claims, I hear you, but I'm skeptical. It cost 700 million to make?
I mean, like 2,000-3,000 people worked on it, so for what, 8 years?
Well, I say, I feel like a child, a babe in the woods. I didn't know any of this stuff. Also have problems with motion sickness, but after Mythbusters, I eat ginger tablets and they help. I've tried the problem is that with the ginger tablets is now that when I think of ginger, I feel sick because I was taking tablets for motion sickness and then still feeling a bit queasy, and it ruined ginger for me. I tried to cash it on the mobile gaming hype, but my game sucked. Go play Quick Splat Barnacules. Do you really have it? Did you really do a game? But my game sucked. I guess the key is making good games, right? Rockstar spends insane amount of money on their production. Yeah, I'm sure. Because it's you. Probably, I will go download your game. There you go. Parent the Rangers is already booked. Dramamine. Oh yeah, no. Dramamine's fantastic, except that then I'm asleep and I'm a sucky game player. Candy Crush. Well, Fortnite. Jeez, the amount of money that Fortnite is making. Does this get you? Are the bandits motivated by cash? Do you do you think, oh, wait a second, they're making a ton of money on these games. I should get in on this. We've lost them all. They're all, the grown-ups are talking. The grown-ups are talking. Forget it. I've Pavloved Ginger. It's so true. Stardew Valley was one dude. Yeah, Stardew Valley is fantastic. In fact, I resented Animal Crossing because I felt that it was like a ripoff of Stardew Valley. But then I think Animal Crossing was actually out before, so I had to take that back. You know, this is the funny thing, Jed Ted. We have the same thing with the film industry, where films have just become so crazy expensive. But the advantage that games have over movies is the games are played more than once, and movies aren't, for the most part. And games are hard to pirate, or harder to pirate than movies. And once you spend $300 million on a movie, the first digital version of that gets lost or copied, that's it. You got it for free, right? I mean, I got friends in the industry who never pay for movies. They just pirate all of them. I feel slightly guilty. If I can only find a film pirated, I'll watch it, and then I will usually buy the film when I can. If it's a good film, I'll buy the film just to support the filmmakers, right? Games are way harder to steal than movies now. Yeah. It's like, I'm wondering if maybe the film industry could, well, I think the film industry is so out of touch at this point that I keep saying to filmmakers, great story. Go look at YouTube, because look at what they're doing there. That's what you're competing with. Stop looking at films and saying, oh, I can make that. Look at YouTube and see what's happening there, because the film industry is still using effects that YouTube was playing with 5 years ago. So I'm a huge fan of the online world, because I feel honestly like it's ahead. And also, how do you compete? Like, Baz watches gaming videos or tutorials on gaming videos and stuff. That's all he wants to watch is YouTube or Twitch streams. And how do you compete with that as a film? It costs you $200-300 million to make a movie for 2 hours, and my son's watching 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. How many hours are there in a day? He's watching as much streamed gaming content as he can, and would choose that over movies in any. That's why I'm here. It's funny. We should talk about this at some point, Barnacules, because you were saying, like, it's interesting to see the game. It's interesting to see people sort of showing up online now because of the pandemic. Basically, I've seen a lot of actors who would not normally be online are now online. I feel a certain amount of superiority because we started like a year ago or whatever it is. So over a year now. But the reality is late to the game. And the fact that everyone's suddenly online because there's nothing else happening, right? So anyways, I'd love to talk to you about, I would love to talk to you about that.
I've unserver muted you. I was just going to do it for a little while.
Who was server muted? I was server muted?
I don't know.
Oh, I see. Cosmo. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm absolutely fascinated by this aspect of it, because, you know, and one of the reasons why I started doing this stuff online was with the Tech Bandits, was like, I could do chats with people. I could do chats with people in a little Zoom format with, 6, 8, whatever, sometimes one kid, depending on who shows up every week. But if I do it live, all of a sudden there's a whole other audience, and there's a whole other realm of content and stuff. Oh, stop. What is going on? Everyone's saying, how goes banditry? Oh, it's my wife. Not everybody. Sorry, I take that back. It's Jane. It's wonderful Jane. I see. I'm supposed to be done by 1 o'clock, I think, is the key. Can I turn off the notification sound because it's driving me crazy? Stop beeping me! Here we go. I'm going to look at the messages. I'm going to turn off my messages.
Yes, everyone is very confused right now because no one knows who's beeping.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. It's me beeping. Jane's texting me and I'm trying to turn off the sound. General messages. Notify me. No. Play sound effects. No, don't play sound effects. There you go. I'm beeping. It's me. I apologize. But I got everyone's attention though, didn't I? Huh? Actually, that's a good. There you go. That's a use of soundtrack. You use the soundtrack. I put beeping sound. I put nice ding sounds in. Everyone checks their phones, stops listening to me, and the microwave is finished. It's so true. I miss King's Quest. It amazes me that Netflix still has a DVD subscription. We loved the DVD subscription. I'll tell you, it went for me from. So you'd go to Blockbuster to go find a movie. You'd never find what you wanted. The one you wanted was always out. They only had a copy or 2 copies of it. So there were these walls of glossy, cool-looking, eye candy posters. And you ended up bringing some crap home and watching it and rarely enjoying it. And the whole process sucked. And then Netflix showed up. And all of a sudden, it forced me to write a list, basically, of movies I wanted to see. So all of a sudden, every movie that showed up for me was a film that I knew I wanted to watch. I may not have felt like watching it the night it arrived, but I knew at least it was a film that I do want to see. So it completely changed my love of movies. We'd be on like the 9 a week or whatever it was. Like we'd have 9 movies coming in all the time, constantly watching cool movies. That was it. And then they went to the online model. And I thought, this is so cool. We don't have to wait. And then it became Blockbuster again. There's just walls and walls of posters. And they changed the posters to try to appeal to you. And then, so I find myself going to start watching a movie. I'm like, wait, I've seen this movie. It's just got a different poster now. So it's just that kind of stuff. Anyways, all right. I miss SSI D&D games. Well, Barnacules, there's a Stargate RPG game now, right? Like Wyvern Gaming is just in the process of like betaing an RPG game, which I played for San Diego Comic-Con, I guess it was. But I just played with a bunch of fellow nerds, and it was freaking awesome. Like really cool, because you're basically creating little episodes of the show, and you can play whoever you want to play, and it's just it's we'll have to get you in on that at some point. Blockbuster still has a video in Portland. Wow, seriously. Barnacules, are you based in Portland? Heard the Stargate RPG is terrible. What? No, it's great. Oh. Look, there's been some terrible Stargate games, but the 5th edition D&D version, it seems like I certainly enjoyed it. I don't know a lot about it, but and what's funny is all of the people who watch the show know more about Stargate than I do. Washington, Seattle. Yeah, we were actually in Point Roberts for a while in Washington State. Loved it out there. Absolutely loved it. SSI D&D games are amazing. Well, this is based on the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Like the engine for the game is the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So the Gate Master is are you ready, James? Are you ready to go? There you go. Well, so there you go. Barnacules, maybe that's our in. We'll get James to Gate Master and we'll play a game of I'll butcher the lore of Stargate. Well, Barnacules, you can download. You sign up on Wyvern, and you get set up for a beta, and drive-in movies. Yeah. Oh my God. Autokino, as our friend Jack Jasser would say. What was that, Cal?
Sorry, I'm having to do some survey to sign up for a beta.
Oh, really? What
I want to know everything, like my height, my weight.
Wait a sec.
Not really, but like there's just so many questions.
Well, that's it. If it's free, you are the cost, right?
Like, name your favorite YouTuber. Why? It's a game beta. Why do you need to know this?
Because then they know who they want to know everything about you, Cal. We
David
all do.
Hewlett. There you go. Favorite YouTuber.
David Hewlett. Suck up. Barnacules, Cal is the hammer, just so you know. So if you do anything wrong, Cal will take you off the stream chat. She's amazing at that. And she's also our resident gaming expert. So we go to her for our PC Bandits. Well, we call them PC Bandits. We're basically gaming bandits now at this point, aren't we? Ready and waiting. Got a couple of episodes lined up. Maps drawn. Details. Really? Voices even? Holy cow, James. Even I don't do voices. Otokino. Tell them Barnacules is your favorite YouTuber. There you go. Too late, Barnacules. Too late. Oh, wow. Don't hurt me. Don't bring the hammer. The hammer. I'm waiting to get banned by Cal myself, just so you know. At some point, I figure I'm going to get banned from the chat. All right. Is there anything else on my little list that I send out? The best, so I've said that, increase the scope, quality of work. So basically, as games become more profitable, it's attracted a lot more talent from the film world, of course, because, you know, us film types, we'll go where the money is. That's increased the scope and the quality of the work. That's great. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's funny. There's a great channel that Baz and I watch all the time, which is the Corridor Digital. And they do, one of their series that they do is VFX artists react, stunt guys react, or stunt performers react. I shouldn't say stunt guys, because they also have stunt women on there as well. But VFX artists react is like one of our favorite. It ruins my wife's viewing pleasure of movies, because Baz and I are like, oh, that sucks. Look at that. There's no shadow. Where's the, it's the matte. It's terrible matte. So it ruins our viewing of films. But they have recently done a video saying basically that they've realized finally that YouTube is not a way to get into big films. YouTube is the big film. Like basically trying to work within this antiquated dinosaur of a stupid system, which is the film and TV industry. Sorry, I work in it, I know, but it is the most inefficient, random, like truly obsolete system that exists. They've sort of said, "Hey, we're not gonna push for Hollywood anymore. We're just gonna do it here, like on YouTube, on streaming channels, on their own website." Basically, I think is the idea. I mean, the danger, of course, is that any sort of audience that you build on any of these platforms, while they're there for you, it's not your audience. It is, you know, it's in this case, I guess, you know, Twitch's audience. Should Twitch suddenly decide to shut down, there goes your audience. YouTube, same
if
thing.
Twitch shuts down, that's gonna that'd suck so
It
bad.
would, wouldn't it? Well, but what about all those people who are making a living on TikTok right now? They got to be freaking out.
Well,
right?
yeah, but like Mixer just closed, so Shroud and Ninja are off it.
Hang on, Baz.
They
Just
could always just go over to YouTube.
I miss Shroud.
Yeah, but you don't bring your audience with you, right? Not all of them. You got to convince everyone to move to a different platform. Do you ever worry about that, Barnacules? Do you ever... Barnacules. See, if Twitch shuts down, I'll have to get a real job. But it's interesting, Barnacules. I mean, if you think about it, you know, it's definitely something I consider, and maybe it's because of my film and TV background, is that whose is this? Like, who's, you know, this platform, yes, it's allowing people to come and see us, but it's still entirely based on them. So Baz, what I was saying was, if they shut down Twitch and you move to YouTube, you've still got to somehow convince everybody. You're basically building up your audience again. And while it may not be as fast, while it may not be as slow as it would be originally, it's still not your full bunch, right? And that's true. YouTube doesn't bring in... one of the things we love about Twitch is, like, you know, I get, like, my money goes towards Tech Bandits, but Baz is earning his pocket money, basically. Pocket money is a nice way of putting it, that he saved up enough. Get this, so he's been going for a year. He saved up enough to buy his own monitor and gaming chair, which I thought was cool. Oh yeah, Barnacules, you got to tell me how that gaming chair is. I'm very curious to hear what you think of that noble chair. I'm hoping that my British roots will win your bottom out, so to speak. Twitch community greater than YouTube community. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Although I've been very lucky, because I feel like the people who I've talked to on YouTube have been they're probably the same people, but I've had very good experiences on both. Not when I started talking about Black Lives Matter as much.
Nope.
I definitely found when I started doing, when my Burn and Learns started talking about that, it became a little more difficult for me to navigate. I found it a little bit more not. Well, I'm trying to think. I guess I haven't really checked recently, and nor have I been doing burn and learns. It's been yoga for me, or now it's dog walks. Freaking dog walks. Had to go and get another dog. And I gave 10 times the following on YouTube. Oh, really? So you've got more. So Barnacules, you got more. I mean, I know you from YouTube. Like the Twitch is a newer thing for me to see you on. Yeah, controversy on YouTube. Well, it's like Baz and I agreed the other day that social platforms of any sort, whether video or whatever, they love hate, because hate is what, hate breeds comments, breeds back and forths and flame wars, and the algorithms just eat it up, right? I keep my controversy on here. Yeah, I don't. It's so funny. The stuff that I bring up, I usually don't think of as controversial, and I think I'd sort of like not hidden. I mean, I keep politics out of it. Politics is so toxic now. I'm not going to convince anybody of anything. I also don't feel like my opinion is worth any more than anyone else's. In fact, it's probably worth less. But the Black Lives Matter stuff, I really felt like I felt awful, because I felt like 30 years ago I was watching Rodney King getting tasered and beaten in LA, and there were riots, and the thought wasn't, how can we change the world? The thought was like, oh my God, riots, danger, danger. And then 30 years later, we see another video, and it's like, oh, those are the two incidents I think of. And of course, in between, there's people who've been experiencing this all their lives. And I just felt a real, I don't know, like responsibility there, where I go like, no, it's not okay to just skirt around the issue. I feel like I've got to sort of, I don't know, I felt like I have to do something to help, or to at least get people talking about this stuff. And it's never comfortable, and I always say the wrong things, and I know that I am coming from we all have our own privilege to some extent. I come from extreme privilege in that I've just been incredibly lucky. So anyways, my live stream, I dive into politics and BLM and tons of other stuff. I go crazy with it, but I don't touch it on YouTube. Interesting. Agreed. Some things are so bad you got to speak out. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And I don't know how to, as a white man of privilege. White, straight, old man. What do they say? What's that song? Baz, what's that song we like? It's like a Kesha song or something. It's the, what if straight, white, something men didn't rule the world anymore. I don't remember the song. It's a great song.
What?
Baz, what was that song?
What song?
Remember that one that, what if rich, white, straight men didn't rule the world anymore? Was it Kesha? I may not have done it justice, potentially. It's one thing to disagree on many things, but it's difficult to stay quiet when people are actually getting hurt. Yeah. I'm glad that you feel the same way, Barnacules, because it's rich, white, straight. Is that the name of the song? Rich, white, straight men didn't rule the world anymore. All right.
I've never mentioned that song.
You've never mentioned it? You played it for me. It was on your Alexa playlist. Oops. Shut up. No. I'll repeat it. Shut up. Stop. Go to sleep. Go away. Open the pod bay doors.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Go back to hell where you came from.
Go back to the Amazon hell you came from. Baz's like, oh my God, stop. I know. It's cringy dad, isn't it? That's my job, is to be as cringy as possible.
Years ago.
That was what?
That was like 4 years ago.
Oh my God, like you were a kid.
Oh my God, Dad, please just...
I hear you, but I'm skeptical. This is why we're not in the same room anymore, right? All right, let me just go through the last little bits here. So first off, I should say, so the whole idea of talking about music in video games was an idea that Bertley had for us. And Bertley brought it up on Patreon and said, why don't you have a look at this? Showed me a video, which was really cool because it's all about, it basically has a kind of a history of video game music. And then the issues of trying to, how do you create music that people won't just basically mute and play their own music while they're streaming it, because games are all streamed now, right? This is the link address. I'm going to put it in here. Voila. Ça c'est le link, or la link. Link? Is that link in French? I don't know. Yes, so that is the link for the video that basically inspired Bertley to inspire me to bore the crap out of my bandits with music stuff. But I'm going to go talk to, because I'm interested in it, I'm going to go talk to Neil and get his take on what it's like to be a composer for video games. And then, yes, and the last one is this little video, which I got to say, I took a great joy in listening to, which is the video game music through the ages. So it basically starts at the early creaky old days, and then basically the Pac-Man days, 80s, I guess, and then all the way to Fortnite. So it's just kind of neat to see the progression of music sounds, music games stuff. Here we go. So they go paste that. That's that one as well. So there you go. There's a couple. What is the amazing technology? Ooh, what am I missing out on? I'm missing out on. Oh, cancel culture. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. Yeah, we've had a bunch of discussions about that. The idea being is, how do you have these discussions if you are immediately labeled as, privileged or racist, or, there's a fear from some people that there is almost a censorship happening that's based on, hey, you've had your time, you're done, you can't talk about these things. There's no discussion. There's just, good, I was gonna say black or white, good or bad. Obama addressed this, actually. Obama had a great quote about this, where he said that there's a tendency, I think he even used the term like this woke culture, these kids, see things as, good or bad, but that there is a subtlety to the world that is very frustrating and needs to be understood. And he was saying, that there are good people who do bad things. There are bad people who do good things. That your deadly enemy can love their kids. And I heard that and I was like, oh my God, I just love that. I love that he has that insight and that he's sharing it, especially now, that that there's it just, I get canceled every day and it just makes me stronger, says Barnacules. You know what I mean? I just love that. It's where people shut down other people based on their past, regardless of how they've grown or learned from their mistake. Yeah, that's it. I feel like we have to be responsible for what we've done, but at the same time, as you say, if you can't grow and you can't change, then I don't know how you're, Good example of that is Pogo. People will still shut him down for his past, which is a shame, as I'm a huge fan of his work. Well, I spoke to a friend of mine who was, I guess she's taking arts at university or something, and she was saying, she's a kid of a friend of mine, and I was saying, so what's the statute of limitations on this stuff? How can if an artist is racist or an artist is sexist or has done heinous things, what is the limit on that? Do we not go and see his stuff? And she was like, well, no, go see his stuff, but just don't give him money for it. There could be no money, there should be no financial support to people who have profited on or have been responsible for horrible things. Again, there's nuance to all this stuff, right? You can't just make a generic statement about these things. But I just thought it was interesting that she was saying, no, I don't want to pay anything towards people who've done things that I don't agree on. And I guess that's everyone's prerogative, right? I'm just glad that when I did all my stupid stuff, the internet didn't exist. Yeah, Barnacules. I'm like, I've said this, like, oh my God, if they had smartphones back when I was in high school, forget it. I'd be done. I can't imagine how many stupid things people would have filmed me doing. Or say. And when you engage, they sense blood in the water, keep attacking you. You ignore it, loses momentum. So only good people that care seem to take real damage. There you go. God, I hope that's not the case. God, if I was social media when I was a kid, I'd be in jail. Yeah, me too. I'm sure. I did the stupidest. God, I'm not even going to list them off because my son is on our stream with us. I mean, bandits, do you feel, are you nervous about people filming you and stuff? Like, do people at school, I guess you don't really have the phones out at school, do you? But do you worry at all about having stuff filmed and put on the internet, or you doing stuff that could come back to haunt you?
I honestly don't care.
You don't care in what way? You mean you're not worried?
I don't care what anyone thinks.
But what about doing something that could be used against you later?
There's no jobs that I'm not going to be interviewed for any jobs because I don't think streaming is you don't have to get interviewed.
But if you do something that the majority of people
interviews, we're talking about if you're streaming and you have a career like this dude named Kefri.
Mm-hmm.
He if you have a bad backstory, no one's gonna watch you on Twitch.
So you're not gonna be able to earn a living if people find out that you're like a total jerk or
something. There's no way you're gonna earn anything if you have a bad backstory. I'm just saying.
Huh. So what do you? But then at the same time, I worry a bit that you're then constantly worrying about. It's almost a form of censorship, isn't it? Like worrying about what people are gonna. What if you're wrongly accused of something? Like what if someone decides they don't like it and shuts you down for that reason?
Well, this person was wrongly accused, but...
Oh, really?
He still lost his career, most of his career.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, one of the things I talk about with Jane, my lovely, amazing, brilliant wife, who's the brains of the operation and also runs the production company that we have, and I keep saying, I think we should do animated films, or at least digital characters, because... Nowadays, there's so many fears, there's so many concerns about this stuff coming up. And like, what if you imagine spending a fortune on a Kevin Spacey movie? You make the movie, you cast this amazing actor, you've got other actors involved there, the film's made, and then the Kevin Spacey stuff comes out, bang, done. Your film is dead in the water. Nobody is going to market that film. No one's going to show that film. It's going to end up like in a back shelf on Netflix somewhere. I mean, it's, what do you do to protect yourself as a producer? Because you don't know what's going to come up or what stupid things actors are going to do. And actors are notoriously horrible at being human. So I was saying, do animated stuff because then you just revoice them, right?
But there's deepfakes now.
There's what?
Deepfakes.
Well, oh my gosh, Cal, that's so true. What do you do then? Then what do you do?
Yeah.
Interesting. And Kevin is like 1% of the movie and it kills everyone's career. Exactly. So what do you do there? Because like I seem to remember there was an actor who was just starting out and had got this amazing role in this movie. And of course, then it was like the movie's dead. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I have SWAT protection now because of bad actors. Really? Wow. We had one incident here with Baz that we had to report, and it's so Canada. We had like 2 police officers show up, and they sat outside for a little bit, and they came in and they talked to us and we explained what had happened, and I said, look, what do I do? Like, do I need to do I need to have this kind of, like, do I need to have some kind of a number to call for this stuff? I didn't want to call 911, but, I did want to talk to the police. Anyways, and they just said, well, look, in the States, we would show up with guns. In Canada, they said, we'd look in the window and see that your wife was trimming the tree, and chances are you probably weren't upstairs murdering anyone. So it was just kind of an interesting, difference in how the policing works here. But at the same time, wow, deepfake Robin Williams on every bad actor since he can't do harm. His legacy is solid. Huh. I'll tell you privately how to protect against it if you haven't already. Oh, thanks, Barnacules. That's great. That would be great. And if you're successful, someone wants to hurt you for it. Well, someone said that. If you don't have enemies, you've not had any successes.
There's a female streamer who had a stalker who tried to kill her.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, there's a kind of a weird double-edged sword to this stuff where you want to be successful, but you also want to keep your head down because you just don't want. And also, there's some very awkward interactions sometimes between. I'm sure Barnacules, you find this as well, where sometimes you have interactions with people, and the social cues aren't picked up on. You find yourself having these awkward kind of conversations with people who you just don't realize that 50 people a day want that time with you as well. You know what I mean? It's very, very interesting. Jed Ted wants to be deepfaked into adult films. We'll leave you to that, Jed Ted. I'm sure there's some technology that you could set yourself up with that. Maybe not a Tech Bandits topic, possibly, maybe not.
Yeah.
Very worried about tech in school. It's a real problem that most learning is now done on Chromebooks. Why Chromebooks? Chromebooks is the issue? We don't like Chromebooks? Parasocial relationships can be terrifying and dangerous. Parasocial, what a great term. Is that the technical term for it? The voice actor from The Last of Us 2 is getting death threats because of the character she played. That's right. Yeah. Cal, you were saying there was a huge backlash to that sequel.
Yeah, massive.
So dumb.
Just because of who she's in love with?
Numerous reasons.
Oh, okay.
She has too much muscles for a female, and a lot of people don't like that. Plus, she kills off a character people like. So.
Oh, really?
Apparently, that's the actress's fault.
Yeah, because they
that
are.
Makes perfect
please.
Sense. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I have people who just will not call me anything other than Dr. McKay, and I'm like, well, all right, I guess I've got a free doctorate then. It's like the song "Stand" by Eminem. Yeah. Tea's gone cold and underwater. Baz, I'm singing again. Isn't this great? I love that song. Love that song. But Eminem's a really interesting one because Jane and I loved Eminem. Like 8 Mile. I used to do my running up to the Hollywood sign with Eminem blaring on my headphones and the dog running beside me and leaping over the little baby rattlesnakes that are so freaking deadly. And yet so much of his content is like misogynist, toxic masculinity BS stuff that we're like, what do we do with our son here? Like, what do we do? What are our thoughts on music with our son? Because there's music that I love listening to, which is just horrible about, women. Basically, women is the biggest issue there. I love The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd. But there's just lines in his songs where you're just like, oh, God, really? Do we have to, I was looking we had Spotify, and I was looking for a way of doing sort of parental controls on the songs without that sweeping kind of, the only thing you can listen to is like, lullabies for kids. Like it's that horrible sort of like, I would call it the Cal hammer of parental controls that would just basically take out anything that could be regarded as adult. Because I don't mind swearing. I just don't like swearing at, or racial slurs, or homophobic slurs, or sexist stupidity, calls to violence, all that kind of stuff. There's just certain songs I'd like to be able to just bounce out of the list, but they didn't have any way of doing that, so that made me very frustrated. There you go. Judeo, hello Judeo. Thank you for the subscription. You can ask anything. Can I ask? What? Can I ask? Fame is cool and sucks at the same time. It's true, Barnacules. I'm very lucky in that my only fame exists in airports, subways, and comic book stores. It's the only places I get recognized. For the most part, anywhere else, well, it happens the odd time. But Jane says that it happens at least once a day when I go out. But I don't think it's as much as that. But for me, I can almost know when I'm going to get that. Whereas you, Barnacules, I imagine, it's just got to be all the time. Money is less. Well, and this is the great deception. People think if you're famous, you're rich. And it's not true. Especially when my show's been off the air for 15 years. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I'm not exactly moneybags here. I'm very lucky. And luckily I had a wife who is very smart and intelligent with money. So we're not starving. But the fact of the matter is there's this weird assumption that, oh, I saw you on TV. I saw you on the internet. You must be rich. It's like, what? Where'd you get that from? But I'll tell you, Barnacules.
Take a break. Stand up and stretch your legs.
You stand up and stretch your legs. You don't even have legs. Don't talk to me like that. You're not the boss of me.
The disrespect.
Oh, man. I get recognized in stores. Free stuff. Sometimes free stuff's good. I mean, like, every so often we get, like, free stuff. That's kind of cool. I made way more money working at Microsoft than being a famous internet personality. But the freedom of it, again, I will happily... Like, I can earn more money doing film and television, absolutely. But the freedom of streaming and online stuff, and the feeling of reward that someone might remember something we said in Tech Bandits and it might actually influence them later on. I mean, that to me is like priceless. That's why I find this so exciting, because it's like, yeah, I don't need to earn a lot of money. I just need to earn enough money to do what I love doing. And I think that's the most important thing to go for out there. We need the McKay Show, something like Beekman's World, but geeky. You're living it. It's right here. It's right here. Because here's the problem. Let's say, okay, Barnacules. Barnacules decides he's going to do a TV show. It's going to be Barnacule, the world according to Barnacules. He gets a cool deal. He's gonna go to Disney. They talk to lawyers, they talk to agents, and the lawyers get money and the agents get money and the network's getting money, and they develop it and then they decide, nah, you know what, maybe not Barnacules. There's another guy over here we'll go concentrate on. They've got your show. They've signed you. They've got everything. You can't do that until they decide what they want to do with it. That's why we're not seeing Stargate. Because, there's so many copyright and ownership and licensing issues there that make it impossible for someone to just go off and do like a fan film or something. And MGM is crazy litigious about that stuff too. I mean, I was doing promo stuff for their marketing department and getting shut down by their legal department on YouTube because they're like, oh, that's Stargate stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it for your marketing department. Bang, nope, knocked off. So I think you'll find that having control is the absolute key. People talk about their career, like how to get into acting, how to get into writing. Do your own stuff. Everyone dreams, myself included, that someone's going to come up and go like, you know what? You're fabulous. I love everything about you. How much do you need? What do you want me to write the check out for? That check is always worth less than what they're getting. It's always, whether it's in time or inconvenience or lack of control. I mean, and this is this video. I should find this video. This video that Corridor Crew did. Wrong keyboard, David. Let me just look it up, because I think, and Barnacules, I think you'll like this too, actually, because it's just how they sort of suddenly discover, wait a second, we're not here as a platform jumping off point. Oh, they've got their website up. So for $3.99 monthly or $39.99 a year, you get their content. Oh, I'm so tempted. Jane's a bit worried about how many subscriptions we have to things, but I just want to support them because I think this is such a great freaking idea. But in the meantime, let me find their video on getting rid of Hollywood, because it's very interesting. Corridor Hollywood. I'm going to just put that in because I'm my Google foo. What do we got? Okay, so that's the YouTube channel. I'm assuming that's going to be on there somewhere, and that it's not going to yell at me. Okay, where is it? Why we're giving up? That's it. Okay, got it. Got it. We copy link address. Here you go. Check these guys out. I love them, and it was like listening to my own inner monologue when they said this. Social Blade also says I'm a millionaire, and I'm not. But the funny thing, Barnacules, is there's people out there pretending to be millionaires who aren't. There's people pretend. Well, frankly, if you own a house in Toronto, you're a freaking millionaire now, because in order to have a house, well, the bank. Really, Barnacules forced you to be here. I'm so sorry. I apologize for. You'll never get this time back, frankly. But welcome, Detty. By the way, I watched Debug the other night. I loved the rat floating in space scene. That's probably one of the few things you liked. God, I hate that movie. I'm sorry. What a horrible. Talk about. That's a perfect example of a little movie that I wanted to make. It was going to be done for like Dog's Breakfast, tiny little movie in an abandoned warehouse with a bunch of pieces of the Stargate set. And then like an idiot, a production company, producers want to do it. They've done big films. Oh, we're going to make your movie. Well, except could you change it entirely? Can it not be a black African woman as the lead, because that doesn't sell well. It's just, oh God, what a nightmare. I can't even watch the movie. It drives me so crazy. So that's why I'm here. Clean up while you're down here. Yeah, you Barnacules bunch. I want to make sure that, this kid's present. Have you guys heard the Flat Earther movement talking about a rat running across the SpaceX second stage when it was just solid fuel burning off? What about the Barnacles? Have you seen the image of the sun? Actually, Baz, have you heard about this? The cube in front of the sun? There's this image, high-res image of the sun, and shadowed in the top left corner of the screen is this massive, ominous cube, which when you do the math is the size of Earth. Except it's just the missing images from that were sent from the craft. But oh my God, because we're living in a roiling pot of potential conspiracy theories, everyone's decided that the Borg has arrived in our solar system. That's what I want to talk to you. I can't tell the direction and the shots were good, but the production and the VFX was kind of a mess. Do you still have your original script? I have the original script. And it was so pretentious. It was this pretentious, artsy little piece. And then I rewrote it to be a found footage film because, again, that's what's going to sell, found footage. And also, they were telling me the budget was less than we thought we had, so I was trying to keep the budget down. The script I liked the most was the one that we did as the one that I wrote as a found footage film because it was all from the computer's perspective. So it was all from basically Hal's perspective. But honestly, and I entirely take the blame for this, I caved to people who said they knew more, and I should never have done that. I should have stuck to my guns. I should have fought tooth and nail for everything. It was funny, I heard Guillermo del Toro do a talk about films, and he said that at some point in a director-writer's career, you realize that your only power is to say no. And that is sometimes the most, if not impossible thing to do, because you go, I've got a movie. If I say no, I don't have a movie. And that's what you're dying to do is to make the movie. And every problem that comes up, you try to figure out how to make it work within these new restraints that this stupid industry that works on my gut says, and then they'll declare that as the truth. They don't like numbers. The film and television industry hates numbers because the numbers will show that no one's freaking watching this stuff. No one wants to know what the real advertising numbers are on television because nobody's watching the ads. And the films, everyone wants to say like, everyone goes like, oh, we've got all these big stars, so it's got to be a good movie. It's like, no, it just means you just spend a lot more money. So anyways, obviously jaded. But like a fascinating experience, and that's why I like that video that Quarter Crew did, because they're talking about the same thing. They're going in, they're getting all these different pitches. They're not making the films they want to make, but they are when they're doing it themselves on YouTube and now on their own channel. So kind of cool. I made an overly produced video on YouTube that took like 100 times the effort to get like 10K views. Then I make a video of me sitting in a chair ranting about Microsoft that gets like 1.2 million views. But that's it. Barnacules, that's what the film industry does not understand. I have these meetings about doing, so my big thing, I talked to a company here who does a bunch of shows here, about, they wanted to do something with me for Let's Talk Science, which is this charity that I absolutely love that does science, technology, engineering, and math outreach stuff. They have tons of online resources now for COVID. Just great resource run by this extraordinarily amazing woman, Bonnie Schmidt, who's just built this thing into a massive national charity that really focuses on helping kids, getting girls into science, keeping them in there. I say girls because they're young girls, but women, bringing women into science. This is where we get in trouble for being old and white. But anyways, so I love this charity, and I support them any way I can. But they wanted a show, and so they get a TV company to do the shows. But all of a sudden, it's like they spent something like $5,000 on a set to look like a makerspace. I'm like, I have a maker. I got 3D printers. You can't see them now because I moved them in the other room and I put another camera in there. It's very cool. But it's like, what? Give me $5,000. I'll build a makerspace that we could use all the time. Like the local kids could come in and use it. We'll have cameras and film it all the time. They're like, oh, no. We need music. We need graphics. We need all this. I'm like, no, you don't. Because as soon as you start making something in a kind of a glossy filmic way, you lose. The kids know that it's not real anymore. This is real. Cringy dads are real, whether you like it or not. Girls do science. Yeah, exactly. That is what China is for, to fix that problem. I missed whatever that was about. All right, Barnacules, we are. Peace out, guys. Chic dance. ICS presses, my daughter's favorite bedtime stories for talks about quantum mechanics. That's great, man. That's a little bit that's some stuff to contend with. China fixes our problems with intellectual property rights. Well, and that's interesting too, because I had a great chat with a guy who works in Canada and China. So he's got a company in China. He lives with his family lives in Canada, Toronto. And they go back and forth, and I think they're sort of switching off, where he's working part of the time and she's working part of the time. And anyways, and I was saying, like, okay, I want to know everything. Like, I want to know all about China. I've heard about TikTok. I've heard about, spying and industrial espionage and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you're not allowed to say anything. And he said, I live in both places. And he says, there's corruption everywhere. Like, the politics, like, of course, everyone in China says that what's happening in North America is a disaster. It's terrible, evil. And everyone in North America is saying that China, oh, terrible, desperately evil. And that, oh my God, the human rights in China. And then China's saying, well, human rights in America, look what's happening. They're rioting in the streets because the police are killing people because of the color of their skin. I mean, like, it's it's how you are pitched this stuff, and that it's all about working that system and trying to change that system and or working within the system as best you can. And the one thing I got from him first off was that this guy loves his family. Loves his family. He is proud of the job and the business that he's built with his wife. He is literally living the American dream in China and Canada. Like, and very aware of all the different forces working on him. So the reality is that, industrial espionage, it's all over the place. I mean, yes, China has definitely a bad rep for that stuff, but, America, Canada, we've all got spy agencies, and they're all looking to, get any information they can. So I think we've got to be careful on this stuff, not to just pigeonhole, or what is it called? There's a great, what's the term? Is it xenophobia? No, xenophobia? I can't remember the term of it. Zed-ophobia? I don't know. The other reason I'm being careful and indecisive with my Zatanna cosplay. Interesting. What's that? Have you seen Mark Bernard's Plague Nerdalogs? Ooh, watching some of the performances on there inspired me to maybe submit one of my own soliloquio. Yay! I've never done monologue before. Monologues are great. Hey, wait a sec. Is the Nightbot... Oh, Nightbot's... I want to... Okay, Barnacules, you got to help me out with that. I want to rename our Nightbot Zelenkabot. Jingoism. It's James Gurney's Jingoism. That's right, yeah. You put in a ton of monologues and just didn't realize it. Well, I'm monologuing now, aren't I? Listen to me. I'm sure there's been quite a lot of monologuing going on here. Can't rename Nightbot. You'd have to get a different bot. Damn it. I think... Is there any way we could add... How about this? What if whenever Nightbot responded, could it start with like Zelenkabot and then colon or something like that, so that it's the Nightbot Zelenkabot? It's Department of Redundancy, Department. Zelenkabot, McKaybot to argue. Yeah, there you go. However, there are bots you can set up yourself and control yourself. Nightbot joins like 1 million channels, so I don't think you can rename it. I see, yes. Joins 1 million channels, I see. However, there are bots you can set up yourself. What do you use, Barnacules? And you can change most of those. Okay, I've got to go look at this. I got to go play with this. Hey, Cal, do you mind if I break our Nightbot?
Go for it.
Poor Cal. The long-suffering Cal. David, if you haven't, you must get in touch with Make Community. Oh, I love Make Magazine. Oh, my God. It's one of the few paper magazines I still buy. Not now, though, because I don't touch anything because I'm a germaphobe. Jimmy, Durista, Linus Tech Tips. I love that. I bet you that they will get on board the idea of a makerspace. Yeah, well, the makerspace... Yeah, that's it. Isn't it funny, Barnacules? Our mods are so superior. They know so much more than we do about this stuff. I think they're gaming Ruby K without us. You mean the Tech Bandits? Yeah, they're all off on their own thing now, right? They've all got their own thing going. Baz is muted, which means the clicking of keys. Commander Cosmo, you still there,
yep.
Eli?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool. Any thoughts on any of this?
Not really, no.
No. I guess the whole launch of this tirade.
I'm still here. I'm listening.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I know you hang on every word I say, Baz. I know you wouldn't miss a word of it for fear of missing some, imperative truth, some golden knowledge. Stop coughing, Cal.
That's pleasant.
I love we live in a world where I can relocate to the toilet and keep watching. Dude, keep us posted, Barnacules. Please keep us posted. Don't drop the phone. That's all I'm saying. Because that is no amount of rice or what are those little silicone packets that are going to sop up that. Anyways, Mark started a website with a bunch of famous actors to do monologues from various nerd movies. It was started to raise money for Black Lives Matter. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. My idea with it was just to open it up to everybody. And I'm not raising any money. I'm not asking for money. Soliloquio is just about a place for actors to try monologues. And there was no cost associated. And my idea was to if famous, I put that in quotes, actors want to, add monologues to the Soliloquio site, that'd be fantastic. And that sort of rising tide will raise all the boats, so to speak. But the idea was also just to find a place that people could just go back to just acting, because there's so many things involved in acting now. The idea of just being able to pick up a camera and film a scene on your own, like a monologue, a one-person scene, is just so, God, it's just so sort of refreshing to me, because that's where I started, and I feel like it's an art form that is quickly being lost. And basically, actors will take a script based on a great monologue. If there's a great scene in a script with a nice chunk of stuff where you can emote, or you can scream, or you can shout, or you could just, where you're going to win an award, that's what attracts names to movies. And the idea of just being able to play with that either as an established actor who wants to try stuff they don't normally get to do, or as a young actor, doing something that they would like to do. Just a lot of stuff you could do. Life Proof Case. Yeah, the Life Proof Case is pretty great. It's true. Are you going live on Saturday? Because Bob and Derg. Oh, they're talking about Barnacules. As long as David doesn't relocate. I'm not relocating. Yeah, I'll bring the camera if I ever do. I watched the Stargate RPG stream you did yesterday. It sounded like you had a lot of fun. I did. I was amazed at how much fun I had. And believe me, that was me. I came in at I was very grumpy when we started, because we were bouncing around different platforms trying to figure out the right one for the audio and video and how to make it work with Roll20. And I almost walked away. I was like, oh, forget it. I just can't, it's been a long day. Can't deal with it. Good. Barnacules. You keep that bouncing off floors. Take on Inigo Montoya. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. You don't, by any chance, have 6 fingers. It was a stream of yesterday. Oh dear, I missed it. Finally. Yes. Did they stream it yesterday? Lunchtime. What do you got, Bertley? How's the chat been? Very good. Thank you, Bertley. I think I've bored everybody out of the idea of music. Oh my God, I was so grumpy before the stream. That's so true. How do I find this Stargate RPG stream? Wait, I saw David's shirt. Is that a League of Villains? Which one is this one? I can't. To be honest, my glasses won't let me see what I'm looking at. Baz, who is this again? I can't really see.
The League of Villains in my
ear. It is, okay, yeah. I cancel my streams usually when I'm super grumpy, since I'm a terrible actor. Really? So you'll just bail on a stream if you're like, I can't do it. Can't do it today. Jaspin. We always drift a lot. Tuna pasta, malt vinegar. Nice. You had issues with the Twitch stream too. They did? Ugh. I mean, yeah, they were having a lot of problems. I'm sorry. Was it that? I'll have to look at it. Is it embarrassingly awkward to watch? So all I did for that was I logged in. First, I logged in on... Where did I log in on first? We logged in on Zoom first, I guess, or no, we logged in on Roll20 first, and that didn't work. It was terrible. And then we tried Skype, and then we went to Zoom, and Zoom worked eventually with Roll20, but it was very awkward, very, very awkward. Oh, Nightbot, Zelenkabot, doctors being asked for permission. Gotta check with the Cal. You on the Discord or Reddit. Otherwise, search David Hewlett Stargate, RPG, Stay at Home, Comic-Con on YouTube. All right. I don't have the link for it. Sorry. It was a fun team, I gotta say. And there were people like doing like voices, and I didn't do that. I played an arrogant alien, basically. Weird for me. And you know what, folks? I'm so sorry to do this, but it's like almost 1:30. I gotta wrap this up. My friends. David, did you end up having a good D&D adventure though? Yeah, oh my god, I would do it again in a second. As soon as we finished, I was like, when are we doing this again? I absolutely loved it. Yeah, I was like, it's just fun. It's just silly fun, and I got to play a giant, muscular, heroic alien. You know what I mean? I thought that's what McKay would do.
Were you in 1917? David,
was I?
Wait, were you in at the Pearl Bay movie?
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Midway.
I love that movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know I haven't seen it yet? Isn't that awful?
You haven't seen it?
No. Isn't that awful? There's a couple of movies out now that I haven't seen that I was in. Oh, well, thank you, Eli. I got to see that. Were the effects cool?
Yeah.
They blew up a lot of stuff on that film.
Wait, did they actually use explosives?
No, all CG.
Okay.
Almost every... So there was a whole room that I was in that just had blue screen all around the back. And they would just say, bomb, and you'd all hunch up. It's kind of cool. Yeah, but that, you know who that was? So that was Roland Emmerich who directed that. And he directed the original Stargate movie as well. Did he direct it? Wrote it? Produced it? All the above? Man, I like that guy. He's just, is he German? Very German? He's just a great character. And he runs the set in this very organized, almost military way. And yet it's incredibly relaxed and fun. And, it's amazing. Like everything seems to be incredibly well planned out. If you want to talk to him, he's basically has people who will book little bits of time on set. He will not talk to people during a scene. So he's working on a scene. When he's finished the scene, then he can go off to his scheduled meeting. So I was like scheduled in for a wardrobe discussion, and sure enough, he shows up on time. We talk about what he talked about. I made a joke about the fact that Jane's birthday every year, I get hired every year on Jane's birthday. I'm never at home for Jane's birthday. It's insane. I could not work all year. I will get a job on Jane's birthday like every freaking year. It's insane. I'm convinced that the COVID thing will be over by September 27th, because that's her birthday. But so I mentioned this to him, and I said, like, it's lucky. I said no, I said no, I'm not leaving. It's my wife's birthday. And he immediately sends her this massive basket of flowers and chocolates and so the next time I saw him, I was like, dude, way to show me up. I sent this like rinky-dink little package for her. You send this like, it's like flowers, chocolates, but yeah, lovely guy. I was so impressed with him. Some of these old directors are just not old. He's not old. He looks younger than me, but they're just old school. They're just got this old school Hollywood classy to them that just so cool. I never work I always think it's a good sign when I'm working on my birthday. Like, for example, this year we had a lockdown party and I was here with my wife and my son, and honestly, best birthday ever. No one else loved it. Yeah, it really is. He was amazing. I loved him. And then my best direction was so we did the scene, and he came out and he said, sometimes, David, less is more. And I said to him, what? I said, you blew up the freaking White House and the entire planet, and you're telling me I'm overdoing it? So we were laughing about that. But and then as I left, I thanked him for my house, because I said, if you hadn't done Stargate, I would not be living in a house right now. So, I just thought he was fantastic. I sort of got wind that he was doing another film, some crazy moon-based thing that they were shooting. I don't know whether they've actually managed to figure it out with COVID or not, but I actually read for a couple of roles on that too, because I was just like, oh my God, I just really loved working with this guy. Overacting's a thing. Well, that's it, Barnacules, right? You take it to the edge, you look over, and then they pull you back. That's the whole acting thing. But yeah, it's so funny. I always used to consider myself a very subtle actor, of course, now. Now I am, as you say, probably more Shatner than anything else. There used to be a YouTube series I watched where they would redo scenes from movies and completely overact them on purpose like they were William Shatner. I could do that. I could totally do that. It's a good idea. What do we got? Aaron Cross, happy birthday, late. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday was it? I just slept through my birthday this year. Really? Jaspin, you slept through your birthday? Happy... No, I'm not going to start again. I can't do it again. Happy birthday, Jaspin. I can do another one. Otherwise, it's just going to be just a... Ruby K's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Ruby K. Almost birthday, Ruby K. Okay, there you go. Happy almost birthday. I heard a rumor that in the SAG, they actually refer to overacting as Shatnering it. Oh, wow. Interesting. I've not heard that, but I like it. There was a great story about a kid on the set of a Leonard Nimoy movie, and apparently when he got the part, just a few days' work, and he was taken aside by the ADs, and this, I don't know if this is an urban legend or whether this is true or not, taken aside. Of course, obviously, Nimoy played Spock in the original Star Wars movies. Star Wars. Oh my God. In the original Star Trek movies and series and stuff. For those of you who don't know. For the kids out there. So he gets taken aside and the assistant director say, look, please, we do not, Leonard has made it very clear he does not want to talk about Star Trek. So no references, please. None of that. So he worked with them for a day. They did some scenes, getting along very well. And then Leonard Nimoy came up after a scene to give him a note and came up and just put his hand on his shoulder, in a sort of a, camaraderie kind of a way. And this actor went, and then pretended to drop to the ground like he'd been given the Spock nerve pinch, and was promptly fired. But I was like, it's worth it. It would be worth getting fired for that. I don't even know if it's true, but oh my God, I just thought that was great. Honestly, I would happily get fired just to have that story. I think would be the one. Yeah, the second you said that, I knew he was fired. Exactly. Done. You're out. But for the rest of his life, you could have an entire career based just on that. The guy who was fired for doing the Vulcan nerve pinch on, having the nerve pinch done to him. All right. Having said I should wrap this up, I must say thank you, Patreons, you wonderful people, all of you, one and all. DStat, our what do I call it? The sponsorship level Patreon. I very much appreciate your help. And it just allows me to do this stuff and the Tech Bandit stuff. It's wonderful. Everybody who subscribes here, you too are helping the inspiring of the next generation of brilliant minds. I appreciate it very much. Barnacules, dude, thank you so much. I'm so flattered and a little starstruck that you actually came by today. I just anytime you want to burn a morning.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, Baz also. Who raised this kid? He's great. So yes, thank you so much. Barnacules, you and I are going to talk at some point because I really do want to hang out in some way. Hang out on your stream or something. Look out, Baz. Barnacules says you got another raid coming.
Oh no.
Prepare your tears. There'll be no tears this time. No, he's prepared now. Just let me know what times you work with and how something jumped up in front of me and how you want to do it. I'll send you a DM. Oh, great. Okay, perfect. We shall chat. That should be a fun collision of geekdom. Barnacules and McKays, or Hewletts, whatever I call myself. Thank you, Gaming Bandits. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for silently gaming in the background.
Thank you so much for inviting us. I'm sure everyone's very thankful for this.
Thank you, Baz. Cal, as always, Cal the Hammer. You're fantastic. Oh, Barnacules. So there you go. Everybody, Pacific time, 3 p.m. Barnacules. See him in his natural habitat. And we'll look forward to seeing that. Thank you much, Barnacules. Everybody, what should I say? Thanks for geeking out, says Jed Ted. It's fun. Getting that shout
Thank you
out.
everyone for watching. Is it time? Is it time?
Is it time? Is it time? We done? Finished? We done? Does this mean we get lunch now? Do I get fed now? God,
No.
That would be really nice. No feeding?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, everybody. So until we geek again, as we now say, huzzah!
Huzzah!